Hey, we are here with Crow Inquisitors, new episode. And today we just have David and Adam splitting up the groups. We'll be back with everybody next week, I think, question mark. But today we're going to figure out what the Holy Knight and the Gladiator are up to. We last left off with the characters after they had just beat each other up. And Theo proved himself against Dellon, at least with fisticuffs.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then Dellon got a mission from his wife. She's the quest giver in this arc. Little yellow exclamation point above her head. She basically was like, Dellon, there's a thing I've been working on, and you need to deal with it at this point. Alphonse's kid, who's like 3, Luca, has become the center point of a new kind of like heterodox following. He's been made out to be some sort of messiah figure, and it's been very like low key for now, or up until this point. But your father just got behind it, and suddenly it's way more important. And so you need to go deal with that. Figure out what's going on there.
Do you have any idea who initiated that?
You don't, which would be part of probably your investigation here.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Theo has been dealing with his on again, off again love interest, Achia, and trying to figure out if he can trust her. What's going on with all this order stuff? Should I we're gonna help her go get this artifact. So we're gonna follow up with those threads. There's also a possessed bishop that will probably get inquisited at some point here, but let's go ahead and read off beliefs and instincts and jump into it. Go for it.
Gotta go first.
David, you can go ahead and go first. You're next in the overlay.
Yeah. Right beliefs. Maria and I are working to protect Ceran. I will interrogate my father about his part in this new cult. Last time I met the Order, they tried to murder me at my wedding. I will determine if Theo is being deceived by Achia again. This new cult around Alphonse's son must have something convincing its adherents. I will determine what doctrine they have twisted to bolster this movement. On my blade in my life, I shall hold the enemies of God at bay. I will find proof that the Bishop Armando is possessed. Instincts never go unarmed under any circumstances. Do whatever it takes to win when something more important than myself is at stake, and to never leave a word against the Holy God unchallenged.
Very good. And then Theo.
One, I must transcend the godhood. I will prepare myself by sharpening my will, nerve, and faith. My new patron has offered me power, and so I will work to return him to the physical realm. The next step is to find the lead on the powerful artifact. The actual lead, I suppose. Achia reminds me too much of my wife, but I don't trust her yet. I must find out if she's worthy of my trust and if she is telling the truth.
Nice.
Sounds good. And then instincts.
Never give up a chance of power. Always trust Cantarius and never heed danger.
Very fun. Okay, well, where do we actually want to start? Right, the first things that could happen is you guys go investigate the cult. Achia makes her astrology roll, or you figure out whether or not you believe her, that whole thing. Or yeah, I guess those are probably the two places that we should start. Because the order thing will lead into Armando. So
yeah, the easiest thing to do would be to succeed at this faith roll and cut out a whole bunch of work. But
right. So succeed at try to figure out if Achia is.
Are we both making a faith roll separately then, or?
I don't think we can make a faith roll together because you have
different religions. Yeah, exactly.
But we could just make separate ones. We both have beliefs about it.
You could, yeah. Theo's more like, can I trust her in general? Dellon's like, is this? Right. Well, I guess you also have is she lying to Theo? But yours is more so like, is this whole thing a sham or not?
Right.
Yeah.
Is there something else going on?
Yeah, like Theo believes that this like order stuff is true, but it's like whether or not he can actually trust Achia is really the question.
Yeah. So what's what's the ob for that?
Yeah, good question. That's the place to start. And you have believer, right? So this will be easier for you.
Okay. Ocean Man.
Let's find it.
You said you have believer.
Very good.
I believe.
So it'd be guidance so there's two different ones that are like one's more intense than the other. What do you actually give me your intent here and I'll tell you which one it is.
I want the 8-ball one.
As in like just give me the answer to the question.
Yeah, ideally.
Okay, so that's ob 7. Well, ob 6
what's
for
the
you.
other one?
Sorry, ob 6 for you. The other one would be ob 4 for you. So the ob 4 one for you, which would be guidance. When the way is lost, the priest may ask to know the right path. This prayer can be used in a more metaphorical sense as well. So this would be giving you a nudge in the right direction for whether or not you can trust her. Like, and then you would probably have to pursue it on your own, sort of thing. Whereas inspiration, which is ob 6 for you, a priest may call upon his deity for a revelation or knowledge.
Jeez. All right. Well, I feel like I already know where to go if I don't get a direct answer. So I guess I'll just fail the ob 6 one.
So as a reminder, Averio is in the place you're in right now, right? Because Mario, you just finished talking to Maria, and Averio is protecting her right now. So at the very least, you can just call on Averio to help you with this role, no problem.
Sure. Does Maria have faith?
Help me with my unbelief.
No, she technically believes in your religion, but I don't think she's gone so far in the other direction yet that she has faith. She hadn't taken any life paths that would have given her faith either. So.
Oh, Maria she's not necessarily religious.
She is religious. Like she is, I think at this point bought into like, her second belief is, I have come to believe in Dellon's God, but his church is in a dire state. I will help my husband in ensuring its future. So she believes in the religion. She believes in the God, at this point.
But she's one of those, I don't go to church people.
Yeah, that's not even that. It's just that faith is like a particular thing that's only for very important individuals, and Mari just isn't one of those, right?
Right, yeah, not everybody gets the faith stat, even if they
even if they believe in it, yeah.
Right. Okay, so I'll just have the one help from him.
It's 2 help because he has a 6 in it.
Oh, you. Cool. I suppose I might as well spend a persona I have, or never mind. I gotta save those for sword rolls.
Well, what is your dice looking like right now?
I mean, I've got 7 now.
7 against ob 6. Yeah, I was gonna say if you open it, if you add too much dice further, you won't even get a test you need for it. So it makes sense to leave it as it is, and if you succeed, then you get a test.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Artha doesn't increase that though. So I honestly, Artha might be the thing to do here if you want to get the test and succeed at it.
Yeah, I just have a lot of Artha to spend on swords. Actually, wait, hold on. How much persona do you have to spend to Aristea permanently?
I believe it's 10.
Oh, all right. Well, I only need to spend 1 more then. Okay, never mind.
To gratiate?
Yeah, it's 10. To permanently gratiate on something.
Yeah, I still have I think 9 fate and 2 deeds to spend on it, so I'm still a long way away from. Actually, I have grace. I'll white shade it. But I'm still a long way off. But as far as persona goes, I only need 1 more. So yeah, I guess I'll spend 1 on persona.
Okay. How many deeds points is it?
3 deeds points 3, in total.
Yeah.
So very much an end game sort of thing.
Yeah.
You get deeds points again? You gotta do something like really game changing, right? Or like changing your character.
So the 6 is automatically open ended, but you can do a coin flip.
And really dramatic permanent character changes are basically the.
Yeah, it's like hitching yourself to a cause that transforms the setting for reasons other than personal gain, or doing something like super self-sacrificial or something along those lines. Like, hey, you did it.
It's possible.
You can mark that difficult test.
It's possible.
Wait, I just need to do that 2 more times and somehow do an even more difficult one. And then I'll get a higher rating.
Deeds points, so I got a long ways to go anyways.
Yeah. I also don't have any right now. I go murder Sergio. I don't know, deeds point, right?
Sure. I mean, yeah, certainly if Dellon realizes at the end here he has to kill his own uncle and to save the world and the church, then yeah, sure. These points. And he doesn't take charge of the church himself. It would probably be the issue there, right? Because like if he's like, well, no, I guess I
think for Dellon, honestly, it would be the opposite. I don't think he wants that. So if he
doesn't want it, you're right. Yeah, I was gonna say it was the same with Sergio. That's why Sergio got a Deeds point for taking over the church because he didn't want to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We'll turn this into a mill. We'll just let every character
become pope.
That doesn't want to. Yeah, take turns.
Yeah, they'll all get Deeds points for not
amazing.
Yeah, we found
pope for a day.
Broken. Yeah. Get your Deeds point here.
Oh, man, it's my turn. Dang. Good point.
Oh, man.
Amazing.
All right. Oh, yeah. So what do I get from that? Oops.
Yes. So this would the answer to the question was what exactly? Or the question was what exactly?
I mean, is this a yes or no 8-ball question, or can I get more specific than that?
You can get more specific than that. Yeah. This
is
a high level, like direct knowledge from God.
Yeah. Basically, I want to know if the orders, not only like if the world is at stake because of the orders thing, but also whether or not they have it right. Like, sure, maybe the world will end if we get all the relics together. Right? Like maybe they're the keys to the great demons. You know what I mean? Like maybe they don't understand anything. So basically I want to know if getting all of these relics is going to save the world from some kind of cataclysm, or if the order's just full of it, or if they're half right, but they're on the wrong side or whatever.
Only one question.
This means that I have to settle. I did not realize that we were going to be making this roll today. I really do have to like think about this for a moment because I think I know what the answer is, but if I give it to you straight, it's going to drastically change everything about this campaign.
Yeah.
You did ask multiple questions, so I don't.
Yeah, I mean, the actual question that I wanted answered was: is getting all of these relics together going to save the world from a cataclysm? Like, because that's kind of the answer to all of the questions, right? Because if the answer is no, then either it's not true at all, or it's actually bad if we get them all together. Either way, like, and you know, which one of those it is would be nice as some like extra specificity. But really, what matters is whether or not this is a thing we're supposed to be doing at all.
Okay, so this comes at you sort of like a. Well, I mean, this could just be like you guys go to bed that night and Dellon gets like a crazy vision dream. Because I don't know if there was a whole lot of time left in the day anyway, so maybe like you guys are going to get started on everything tomorrow morning. And so Dellon,
any dreams.
Yeah, Dellon and Averio pray, and he doesn't get it. You don't get an immediate answer, but you like get a dream in the night, sort of thing.
Yeah, right.
And I think you see this very similar to like, you know, one of the prophets in scripture getting the vision of the statue with all the different metals, and it's prophetic of the empires that are going to rise and fall in the future. Like if there's some sort of like metaphor at play here, I'm trying to think of what that might be. At the very least, the information you get from it is you see like the unclouded version of this vision is you see the gods / the patron saints, right? You see the stewards, the Kalahim or the Balahim or whatever, right? And they are in their kind of like heavenly realm above everything in like the spiritual dimension or whatever, right? And it's as if they're doing a war council, right? So they're all like around like Knights of the Round Table style, trying to figure out like what to do next about something important. And you see I'm trying to think.
Yeah, like no. Here's the analogy. It's like a bunch of mountains in a circular pattern, and in the center, there's a volcano, and the volcano is smoking, and it's like represents like the council, the mountain, and
the mount
or the volcano represents the whatever they're talking about, like the problem, like if it blows up, it's like symbolic of something bad's going to happen.
So maybe we're getting because Dellon is he succeeded on the faith test and can interpret this properly. We're getting this like back and forth between the actual vision that he's getting and like what it means, right? And so we see the mountains, and then they become the gods around this table, right? And what was it? How many of them are you? 5. We see 5 of the gods that are around this table pull out 5 artifacts, right? We see an orb, a chalice, an amulet, a medallion.
Did you say ring too?
And yeah, a ring probably makes sense. Let's say ring. And they set it in the center of the table, and basically one of them says, and there's probably not a lot of speaking actually, because that I think it is still vaguer than that. They put all the artifacts on the table, and then they seem to agree on something. Like they're talking, but you can't really hear what's happening. You just hear a rumble of mountains, right? Rock slides or whatever. And they agree to use the artifacts in some way, right? And then we look on the world and we see this like dark cloud that actually we don't see the dark cloud that Cantaria sees yet. We just see a world that is like on fire, right? So the volcano erupts and it's filled with lava, and like the whole world is like on fire. And we see the gods raise their artifacts, and then the fire turns to smoke, right? And the smoke rises and like goes around the whole world, like the dark clouds that Cantarius now sees, right? So they've transmuted the problem from active fire to there's a smoke kind of hanging in the air.
Right. Okay.
And so you like wake up in a cold sweat, right? After you see the eyes in the cloud, that Theo sees, and you know that you've gotten some of the terminology wrong, right? So they call these treasures, and you guys are the keys, which is technically true. Like you guys are the keys, but the treasures you're finding are also keys. And they were once used to lock a very important door.
Right.
And if the door is unlocked using the artifacts, that's very, very bad.
Yeah.
You don't know whether or not the order, like, because Asia doesn't know what they were planning on doing with him exactly, right? She was just like, we need them to save the world. I don't know. That's what the stars told me. So basically, you know that they are very powerful and aren't inherently, like, they have uses other than locking the door or unlocking the door, right? You could use them for other things. So it's not automatically bad if they all get together, but it does present a problem, because if they are all together, they can be used as keys to unlock this very important door that should stay forever closed, right?
Right.
Because if the door is opened, demons return to the world. Right. Not just physically, physically, right? Because right now they're like weird shades that has to possess people.
Right.
So then I mean, honestly, Dellon, like some of this you know from doctrine, right? Some of this it's hinted at in doctrine that like the like Chaos, the leader of demons, will descend from the stars, descend from the void of blackness and return and destroy the world eventually. But there's like an apocalypse in your doctrine. So this is like staring in the face of Ragnarok. And knowing that if you get all these pieces together, Ragnarok could happen, but I don't think you get the answer whether or not there is something that should be like the world should be saved from besides that. Like it's still very confusing to you as to whether or not they should be brought together. You feel that they could be used for good, like for sure. If they actually all got together, maybe you could find a way to banish the demons once and for all. But the danger of letting them loose is still there.
Right. Well, so
like they don't necessarily end the world themselves, but they could be used.
They could be used to end the world. Exactly.
Right. Well, and I mean, I guess I don't mean to be difficult, but
No, you're good.
the technical question that I
Yeah.
was mainly driving at was whether or not we needed to get them together to save the world from something. So like it seems like they did save the world from something, but does
Yeah.
that need to happen again? Because it sounds like they already did their job, as far as I'm concerned. And so like
So
Yeah.
technically the answer could be yes or no. Because they could
I think the answer you get basically is like it really depends on what you consider to be saving the world, because there are many problems happening in the world right now that could lead to the end of the world, like could lead to really bad things happening in the future. Like there's all sorts of problems that are happening in
Right.
the world. And if you got all these artifacts together, you could solve those problems, right? You would have the power of, God on your side. But there isn't like, I think the answer you get back is there isn't actually some like specific apocalypse on the horizon that these are supposed to stop.
because that's what they're saying.
That
is
part
these
of
are the
it-
keys to some kind
That
of
part of the
apocalypse.
astrology is false. It's actually not even just they read it wrong, it's a lie.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Right.
And that last flash of the eyes that you saw
Right.
was guess what is in between the world and the stars that they're reading, right? This
Right,
black
yeah, the
cloud.
sky.
And guess
Yeah.
what? Guess what entities can make the stars say things that they shouldn't say, particularly by blotting out certain stars, right?
Mhm.
With darkness.
Okay.
So basically the answer you get is whether or not there are other people in the order who know this is a lie and want to release the demons
Right.
is
yeah.
that you don't know.
Right,
But you
of
do
course.
know that Achia is being lied to by demons to get these together so that the demons can be loosed.
Right.
And
But
that is
it's
the
not like
secret I've
it'll
been
happen the
keeping the
moment they touch.
entire campaign.
Nice. And it's not like that they'll be loosed the moment they all come together.
Automatically,
it's
no.
It's possible.
There,
right?
there's
Okay.
you still have to find the gate and use it to unlock
Yeah.
the gate.
And we have
Capital
to be
G.
involved in some way, right?
So technically,
You have to be
wouldn't
involved so you have to be involved. The prophecy about you guys being tied to these artifacts is true, right?
Right.
You are the only people who can like unlock these things and
Yeah.
attune them once again to being the keys.
Right. So just, and I mean, you don't have to answer. This wasn't part of my question. I just,
Mhm.
and maybe I don't know this, but is this like we touch them, they're awakened, now they're keys, or like
Yes.
once we
that's the idea.
die, they can never be okay? Because I was like, I guess we could just go kill one of us.
There's
and
there's
stay
a
forever.
extrapolation. There's an extrapolation to the answer that you don't get from this that would explain why you're the keys.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, that part of the story is 100% true, which does shed some weird light on this, because as far as you know, Dellon, demons don't have power over astrology, right? Over the ants, because this is the sort of stuff that you guys use to pick high priests. Like there is a magic here that's like true.
Right.
In the doctrine, like it's a good thing. It's like the Urim and Thummim from scripture, right? Like the drawing the lots to ask God like what we should do. But so if you guys are the prophesied, like if there's an actual magical thing happening here where you're keyed to these keys, like that's true. There's something that's not demon the taint that is true about this situation.
Other people, when they've handled the artifacts, haven't gotten magic from them. So that seems like a reasonable
Yeah.
assumption to make. Yeah.
Technically, wouldn't we still want to find the artifacts because we don't want anyone else to have them?
Well, I mean, they're actually not dangerous if we don't find them.
Yeah, but if they get them and then they just come after us, I mean, there's a lot. It's not like there's 5 people coming after us. There's a lot of people coming after us.
Right. I mean,
if they were all trying to do that and they all knew they would unlock the demons, and they're like, well, all they got to do is gang up on us or capture us one by one. Because right now we are split up, so it's not even
right. Well, we have some inherent bargaining power in that if they kill us, it doesn't work.
And I already have one of the artifacts, or somebody has one.
We've already unlocked, I think, 3 of them. 2 of them.
3 of them. So Dellon the chalice, Theo the amulet, and Alphonse the orb. You guys have the chalice and the amulet, but you do not have the orb. Alphonse traded it away to Narani, and who knows where Narani's keeping it.
Great. Well, geez, I mean, the orders.
So at least that's unaccounted for,
because they might not be able to get that one back, anyways. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, this certainly changes things. Interesting. Okay. Goodness.
So that's what you woke up to is like
Right.
that dream in your mind, right?
Now, because sorry, what's his name? Averio, because Averio helped me with that. Does he also gets this dream, right? Because
I don't know. That's actually the part of it that when you were asking about the whole like, does everybody get this thing? I don't
yeah,
know if that's how that works.
yeah, I
Let's
guess
see.
that's
It would depend on what the rules are for help.
I know that you're all exposed to the repercussions, but I mean, suppose whether or not you're all privy to success is kind of vaguely different.
Yeah, all it says is faithful characters may help other faithful characters using the standard help rules. Usually the religion limits the number of priests who can be involved in a prayer. Oh, okay, so there's that. For
That's
example,
convenient.
only one priest says mass, but it takes 2 to perform an exorcism. So I see. So if there's like a particular ritual that is required here, like you can't just like keep piling on people.
Right.
Um,
That makes sense. I was always
believers may,
surprised that Brainwheel was
yeah.
okay with that.
I didn't even know that there was a thing there. Believers may also help those with a belief in the faith grant +1 die, helping die for every 20 to 50 accumulated will dice, up to a maximum of 3 dice. So yeah, there's only like a certain amount of dice you can get to this.
Yeah, that makes sense. But if he helps, does he know the answer?
Good question.
Obviously, he has a lot less context to this, but
you can always just tell him.
well, I would go to him for confirmation or just to see if I knew that this was how this worked, then I would see.
Well, maybe a demon sending you dreams.
Yeah, well, no, I think he knows it's
around
not
here.
that, but yeah.
Because I mean, there is maybe the gods are not able to speak well.
It really doesn't say.
Okay.
I
mean, it doesn't super matter. I guess he was just gonna like it lends it a little more weight if Vario also experienced it, but I suppose the mechanic has to be compelling enough that my character would believe it, or it wouldn't really help. So
yeah, so the only thing it really says is that like you can help people with it, and like for the one you did, a priest may call upon his deity for a revelation or knowledge. This is a dangerous prayer because a divinity knows much and will often reveal that which the priest did not intend to learn. There's nothing in that implies one way or the other whether or not Averio would also get
should
this
he roll
dream.
for a steel test to do that? I feel like that a revelation kind of would require a steel test.
I mean, yeah,
but sorry, go ahead.
It would be like a passive steel test, I think. I don't think it matters to roll it, but
yeah, the only time you have to roll a steel, like at the end of the session, you could technically get tests for all the steel stuff that happened to you, but the only time you roll it is if it matters. And because I might be stunned for like 2 seconds, and that wouldn't mean anything because I wasn't doing anything. But if you were in a fight,
well, too bad, Dellon. I was gonna have an assassin attack you as soon as you wake up. Make a steel test. No.
Yeah. I have 4 hesitation and 8 steel, so I think I'd probably be fine anyways.
Yeah. I'm going to say that Averio did not get his stream. I think it's more interesting if just Dellon gets it.
Sure. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. What's Theo up to?
I think probably the same thing happened, but I don't know if he's not looking for the answer to your question. He was just looking whether I could test something.
Right. Yeah. You're going to do it too.
So this probably goes back to the night before.
Yeah.
That's what happened. And I think he's going to make a centering roll.
Yeah, the meditation stuff, yeah.
Meditation, yeah.
What did we decide on that?
I want this to be like a split scene where we both pray and both go to bed, we both wake up, and we had totally conflicting dreams.
Yeah, so it's an...
dream that bagels were falling from the sky. What are you talking about?
Yeah. It's an Ob 3 meditation.
Yeah, I have no help or advantages, right?
Yeah, I mean, the point of doing these is so you can get will tests, so... Yeah.
Right. I do want to use a persona though.
Okay. Yeah, because you want to bang for will.
Yeah, I'm using them towards will either way. So, base op what?
3.
Is that 3? So wouldn't it be a 6 or isn't it double?
It'll double. Yeah, it'll double to 6 for the actual roll, but it will count as a difficult test because it's 3 versus 4 dice for will, which is what you want. So.
Okay. Wow.
0. Okay. Yeah, well, you can mark that difficult test and mark that Artha spent. But yeah, you're very distracted by Aichia's arrival and are just kind of
I cannot center apparently. Yeah.
cannot center.
But I am gonna roll a faith roll. See where that goes. Yep.
This does mean you get a +1 ob to it.
Can I have any 6s? Can I re-roll?
Oh, you did not get any 6s because you get 0 successes.
Oh.
But you could spend 1 fate to reroll 1 failed dice. You just have to get 2 6s in a row and then a success.
And a success, yeah.
Well, I mean, I want to use fates or fates though.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. You can.
Oh yeah, I guess you might as well.
So you just re-roll again, or?
No. So go to the top of your character sheet.
I always forget that.
Yeah. It's new. So you can put in 3 for the remaining ob, 1 for the remaining die. Nope.
I get to use a fate.
Yep, exactly. But you still need to spend plenty on, so it makes sense to.
Yeah, right.
You need 17 more fate in will.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you can make your faith test, but because you failed the link test, it'll increase the ob by 1. But what exactly you're trying to do again?
I'm asking I guess I'm asking the patron. I'm asking the patron if she's trying to deceive me, or she's someone I can trust because she, I'll say she's doing it with the best of intentions, that don't sacrifice me or something.
Right. I think that's just an ob 5. It will go up to 6 for with your failed link test that you made, but I don't think it's the inspiration one for this one because it's just like a nudge. Like, is she like? Can you trust her? And that's a more simple answer than what is the secret?
Right.
Or is it automatic?
So it's ob 6 because you got the +1 ob.
Do I put 6 in?
Yeah, put 6 in. Yep.
Because I failed.
That was a very bad
4
roll.
ones. Yikes.
Yeah.
That was 2 bad rolls in a. All right.
Yeah. So that was routine. Wait, how do you have 5 advantage dice?
Yeah, it says you rolled 10 dice.
I still failed. What? I didn't mean that.
Such a bad roll.
I must have put in the wrong one. It doesn't
That's
matter.
hilarious. Yeah, I guess that's making difference. That's so funny.
That is so bad.
So, and I don't need routine, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you would have only gotten 1 success if we were taking like the first 5 dice.
Yeah. That's nuts, though, that you rolled 10
so nuts.
open-ended dice and somehow still. That's crazy.
I must have typed it in the wrong one or something.
You typed in 5 for both fields, I think, is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of because like I don't think
you can totally trust her.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think the guy would try to deceive you per se. So in canon, no, I guess we can not give a canon answer to this.
I mean, he can just not answer.
Yeah. Well, that's the easiest way to do it. I think we'll just say vagueness. There's no answer. You don't know why.
Figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Figure it out yourself.
Having my tea.
Honestly, Theo would take a non-answer as like, oh, that's probably what he wants me to do.
Yeah, you certainly don't get the sense that like you should be worried about Aichia. I mean, the answer to your prayer earlier that you succeeded was Aichia shows up. So.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just a vague like I already
gave you the answer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I guess he just goes to sleep disappointed then.
Yep, I think so. Yeah, so the question is, what does Dellon do with this information? Like, how does that change how he pursues or doesn't pursue the order stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to derail things here. And fine. I also feel like, I don't know.
We're getting into the last arcs of this campaign. Derailing is kind of on the table always at this point.
Yeah. Goodness. Well, okay. Well, I guess I'll just
because at the very least, you would have to convince Theo not to pursue this if you really were like, we shouldn't do this, right?
Yeah.
Well, Theo still is like on the fence with Aichia, so I'm sure he'd probably
at least listen to you.
Have more reason to trust Dellon because
Yeah.
Dellon can lie,
Yeah, I mean that's true. And I basically can.
Yeah.
Am I even learning? I think I'm learning deception. I have to lie 2 more times and then I'll be bad at it. But anyways, yeah. I think that he'll probably go to Theo first. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you still staying in my house?
I think
Right.
so. Yeah.
Okay.
Alphonse and Cantarius are staying somewhere else now, but
Yeah, I'll probably knock on your door. Unless you're awake. I mean, you probably wake up early like Dellon does, so I don't know.
yeah, I think we already decided that the only person who wakes up earlier than Dellon is Theo.
Oh, that does ring a bell. Okay, well then.
Can I roll from early morning meditation?
Yeah, sure. What do you want to do with that exactly? Is there a particular reason just to center yourself for whatever is going to come next?
I think so because he couldn't focus last night, so I think he's like trying to refocus. So he's like,
okay, that's fine. Yeah, we can just make this an advantage dice for the next roll you make, right? It's just like make sure that you're ready, you're focused and ready to go in the morning. That's fine.
Okay.
So same ob 3.
Can I use a persona?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I mean, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point of this farm that we're setting up here.
Okay.
Your Minecraft farm.
Mm-hmm.
Base up 3, right? Okay.
Yep.
Can I center, please?
Oh no, you could flip a die or flip a coin.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna do
that. So as a reminder, wait.
Wait.
Theo, you need to be doing this on Being Learned meditation because it's actually an ob 6. Remember?
Oh, it doubles
It doubles. That's why we need to do this in the Being Learned thing, the meditation for Being Learned, because that's actually the roll you're making. If it'll automatically tell you if it's a difficult or challenging or whatever based on will, so you don't have to worry about that. But
okay.
I mean, you don't have to do it now. Like you got 2 successes. We know you need to get 6.
Yeah, all that matters is that technically you're not 1 success off.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're like.
So just roll fate then.
You still want to roll fates, but yeah, put in the successes remaining as 4 instead of 1, or the op remaining.
Op remaining is 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're doing a Being
Learned
Learned skill, so it doubles the ob. Yeah.
It is still a difficult test though, which I don't actually think you need, unfortunately.
How many dice?
I think you need a challenging.
Yeah, I do need a challenging, so maybe I should not meditate. I guess it doesn't matter.
You already did it.
How many dice remaining? Just 1 or
just 1?
Yeah, just 1 dice. Yeah. I mean, you have the dice.
You at least got 1.
Yeah,
so I mean, you at least got to put more fate in it. It's fine.
Still can't focus.
Yeah, so I would think the next thing you need to do for meditation actually is like make some sort of like meditation roll that's going to be higher ob. Right? You need an ob 5 meditation roll.
What would be a harder meditation roll?
That is a good
question. How do you increase the ob on meditation?
One idea, yeah, exactly. One idea would be to make a meditation roll in a very dire situation that it's hard to focus in, right? That would be one thing.
Not a fist fight again. You can try and meditate while I punch you.
Honestly, it would help him.
That's funny.
Punch me a bunch and then I'll try to focus. Yeah.
I can't focus. Come punch me.
I mean, like he comes knocking on the door and like easy, like interrupted, like, oh.
Yeah, that's probably what
yeah, we're zooming in on his face and the effervescent music rises and
so you could also try to have 5 hours of your sleep be meditation instead, and that'll be an ob 5 test.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that because that'd be like it'd be an ob 5. So it'd be so if you would like to undo that roll that we just made and do that instead, because the point of this is to be able to do the right tests that you want. We can do that. So you can take your fate off and then we can do that instead and say, because you didn't get your answer, you just spend 5 hours of time you would be sleeping, just meditating instead. Yeah, sure. Because I feel like he would, because it probably.
Yeah, I think that makes sense for what's going on.
Yeah, he couldn't sleep, because he didn't get an answer. So
exactly.
You want me to reroll?
So go to Being Learned instead and do meditation from there, and then put in ob 5. And if you'd still like to spend that persona, you can.
Yeah, I'm going to. So
okay. Yeah, we can assume that.
But I already. Let's just say
we can assume the Artha you spent on the last one is the Artha you're going to spend on this one.
Yep. Is up 5.
Yep. They'll double to 10, so there's almost no chance you're going to get this. But
additional ob. What's that?
That would be if you had like a +1 ob or something from a previous test. Those are calculated separately after the fact. So, well, that's actually a pretty good roll, though, all things considered.
Yeah.
If you'd like to spend an extra fate beyond the one you've already spent on it, you could reroll that 6 too, right? And then you would put in 2 dice and 6 ob remaining.
Let's do it.
And then you get to spend one more fate than
an extra
last time,
fate,
because you didn't get any 6s last time. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
2 dice.
And who knows?
I'd like to farm an ugly truth wall. Hey,
it's actually pretty good for what you had.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6
I want
out
to
of
farm
10.
ugly truth, so I look at my wall and I tell it that no matter how many years pass, it'll never move from that spot. And I want to routine it now.
You could tell Theo that ugly truth, but
Oof. Yeah.
That's challenging then, right?
Yeah, it was challenging. Yep. So you upgraded Will.
There you go. Nice. I'm sure Will appreciates it over here.
I'm a real boy. All right, cool. So yeah, Dellon, Theo is meditating, right? He's failing to do so. So you basically failure means you fall asleep. That's actually what it says in the rule.
I'm really up, but this time I'm actually sleeping.
Yeah, exactly. You tried to stay up and then
I'm like passed out on the floor instead of like
exactly.
Next time we get into a sword fight, you need to do that, and then when you fail, you'll just be like, "I'm going." You'll just pass out.
What's it called? Like, not is it narcolepsy or something?
Yeah, narcolepsy, where you just collapse randomly into sleep. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. He wakes you up, and he's just not looking himself right now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Dellon, what's up?
Why are you sleeping on the floor, Theo? You all right?
I've been having trouble focusing.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not really sure if I can help with that. But
you should punch me some. That'll help.
Yeah, right.
I don't think anyone can.
Maybe Maria can make some tea. I don't know. Yeah. So at any rate, this whole thing with Achia, I needed somebody more authoritative to trust their word on this. So I was praying last night, and when I slept, I was given a vivid one.
Vision.
Yeah. And well, let's just say I'm not sure it's what we hoped. It seems that these artifacts, they are keys, and we're sort of the tool to unlock the key. But the thing that the keys unlock is bad. They seem to be what keeps demons ephemeral, possessive, but not physical. And if we bring them all together, not just anywhere, but I don't know where the door is, but somewhere there's a lock. And if it's unlocked with these awakened artifacts, we will be fighting demons in their own flesh and not in the flesh of man, which I suspect would be significantly worse. And it seems further and maybe more immediately relevant that her astrology was not poorly done, but altered. I don't think she's lying to us, but someone is lying to her. And you said the demons are doing it, right? That's not normally something they can do, but somehow they're twisting the astrology.
Yeah, basically, because there's this black cloud that we've discovered that it hovers over everything. And Theo would know this. Dellon, that's the first time Dellon's seen it. But Theo, as soon as Dellon describes this, you've seen this regularly, Theo, right? And so there's a dark cloud that is basically this dark cloud, they use it selectively to blot out certain stars to give readings wrong, to make people read wrong things in the stars.
So he says the vision was a bit symbolic. It took some interpreting, although I'm confident in my interpretation. But there was a dark cloud swirling around the planet, and
he turns around like, I've seen that cloud before.
Wasn't an image. Well, it seems that cloud blots out selectively stars from the viewing of astrologers for this reason exactly, to skew her interpretation. So I believe she's being manipulated. Not that she's manipulating us, but that she's being. I don't know if the order is directing this in some way, or if they're also being manipulated. But and I suspect HEA will not be receptive to this news. But I think that we are on a dangerous path here. And although I this cloud is, I mean, I don't see it. You're telling me that you can see a black cloud in the sky?
I have seen it. I don't see it. Only in times. Cantarius has seen it too.
But it seems to be, at least according to my dream, the way it envisioned it, I guess, yeah, we call them, yeah. The demons were once a flame, which I assume implies that they were physically present. And these artifacts were used to diffuse them into the atmosphere. And literally, it seems, I thought that was more symbolic, but it appears to be very literal, according to that information.
It's still symbolic. I mean, Theo and Cantarius see this as a representation of what's truly happening in the atmosphere.
Oh, okay.
It's not actually a black cloud per se.
Yeah. Well, and maybe
it's like a spiritual black cloud.
Yeah, I guess he that's the sense he meant it in. That he figured it was like,
even more symbolic than that.
Yeah. And yes, this is and these keys, if they're brought to the right place, will reignite that flame, and they won't be a cloud anymore. So I think we need to be careful about this, and I need to. I don't know if we bring this to Achia. Well, I guess that's why I came to tell you, other than obviously it's relevant, but how do you think we should proceed? If we tell Achia that we can't do this for her, I suspect she'll be, well, I don't know. I suspect it won't be the last we hear from the order if that's the case.
Will Achia trust us? Will she believe us?
I don't know. She seems pretty set on it. I mean, she came here and really she risked her freedom just to try and convince us of this. I don't know if she has enough stock in faith to believe a vision like this over her astrology.
Is
HEA meditating?
Okay. I think we have an advantage here. I'm afraid that I don't know what HEO will do when we tell her, but there's a possibility that she could turn on us if there is one. Then we should keep this between us. We know that we know what they're up to or potentially trying to do. If we reveal that, they might turn on us and become hostile. They might force us to do their will. If we secretly do it willingly, it might be the smart move.
Well, the question then becomes, should we seek out the relics at all? I mean, we're the key to unlocking the relic's potential, and if we never contact it, then it can't be used in any way to release the demons. It almost seems like maybe we should just leave them alone. I mean, from now on, there's still 2 that need to be unlocked, and if we leave it that way, there's no danger, in theory, of
if they know
return.
That we're intentionally leaving it, they'll know that we suspect something.
Right. But if we unlock them for them.
No, not. I don't think we should unlock it for them, but I think we should know where they are. Perhaps take them and run, or because either way, come against us. We may not be able to find them, but they seem to be on the right track. So if they find them and they know that we will not come willingly, then they might try to come after us and force us to do it anyway. So if we could come up with a plan
True. And the two of us have already unlocked a relic, so whatever relics we uncover won't be unlocked by our touch.
Right.
Which means we can acquire them and secret them somewhere else.
Prevent them from being unlocked by the others.
That seems wise. All right. So, just so we're on the same page, we'll continue as though nothing happened, and we will just make our own move when the time comes.
I think so.
And that's when Achia, like I assume that is the door like open, like you guys are like kind of like talking in an open,
I suppose,
bedroom. So Achia steps into the threshold and she says, "I've made a grave mistake. This task, it's a lie. We're headed after something terrible."
I look at Theo and I'm like, well, that simplifies things.
Yeah, so she made an ob 7. Honestly, she got 10 successes. Yeah. So she figured it all out too.
Nice. All right,
she finally got a clear reading of the stars herself.
Yeah.
And it's probably the great God lining all this up, right?
Right.
For you is kind of the idea, because the idea, at least in your doctrine, right? The idea would be it would be God who would be able to prevent this misreading from happening. If you know, to make true astrology.
It's the whole
happen.
Somebody needs to unleash the angels kind of thing through prayer. And
yeah.
There you go. Very cool.
So we can probably just like cut forward, whereas she basically has learned everything you guys have learned.
I like the idea that while I was explaining my dream to Theo, we actually were watching Achia do this.
Exactly.
And,
that's basically what was happening, because I was making the rolls while you're.
Yeah, she sees the same thing she saw before, but then like whatever started blotting out just like burns a hole through the cloud, and then like
it's interesting because I have a suspicion just outside of canon that Theo, because he knows that the patron is somehow like locked in something, and so I think he's thinking.
I think everyone except for
I could trust her. And so maybe he's like, I'm not sure yet. Maybe she, maybe she won't help me.
I think it's clear to all of us who your patron is at this point.
We'll see what Theo does about it. I think he's like trying to convince himself, like, no, can't be.
Yeah.
And he hasn't told anybody about it yet.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
He mentioned it, but I don't think it was enough information to be like, oh yeah, it's definitely some sort of Kratos kind of thing.
Nice.
Or Earth.
Kratos is his name. Yeah.
Oh.
No, isn't there a Titan in Greek mythology? It's called.
I was thinking the one when I named him, I was naming him kind of after Kronos.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I was like, Kratos is the God of War guy.
Yeah, I was like, it's not Kratos, it's the other one.
Yeah. Okay.
That was who I was trying to name him after, not Kratos.
Okay.
is Kronos like the locked Titan sort of thing.
Can the demons read my mind? You said they can't read your mind just willy-nilly.
They cannot read your mind. Yeah.
And they have to be in your presence, and they can use an
astrology. Read my mind. Just
so if a demon was possessing you, then he could read your mind. Well, no, probably not even then. I guess they have aura reading. If a demon has like aura reading or something similar like that, they could then read your mind.
I suppose it would be as if a demon possesses you, they have basically unlimited opportunities to make aura reading rolls, and so they could pretty much read your mind. It just might take time, especially. But
it's not like you have an automatic everything they're thinking sort of a thing. But
they have to actively make the roll, right? Yeah.
Can they tell the future? Sort of.
Not inherently. There are probably certain demons who can.
Okay.
If they had astrology as the idea.
Yeah, I imagine they'd use the same mechanisms. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so I think the conversation cuts forward, right? She's explained everything, and you're like, yeah, we know, like, right?
We know.
But I feel like there must be. She got like 10 successes, so I think she maybe even knows of one more piece than you guys do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of what that should be.
Well, I mean, the main question now is and this is something only she would really have maybe context to understand, was this a thing the Order already knew, or are they also being deceived by?
Okay, so this is what she tells you. She's like, I'm worried that something is wrong with the Order then, because she explains what happened, like why this all happened. So she kind of gives her backstory here is kind of what happens.
Yeah.
So she was born, and this is probably something you don't didn't necessarily. You got it slightly confirmed that she was what's his face's daughter, Oberdon.
Oh, right, yeah.
But she explains further, like, you know, I was his daughter. I'm not a bastard, but like I was like a useless. Like he has so many daughters that he just started giving them away to nunneries, basically.
Oh.
And she says, me and my sister were separated at birth, sent to different places, and I don't know what happened to her, but I became a nun. And let me actually look at her life paths. I'm trying to remember what the order of this was. I became a nun. Actually, you know what? I think I wrote this down somewhere. Let me see if I can find this.
Dude, I think it would be super epic if like the order starts coming after us.
Yeah.
They're like trying to capture us all, but then also they find all the relics and they're like, we're gonna make you grab these artifacts. And
yeah,
if what Atia fears is true, then that might be what's up. Yeah. So let's see. I'll just write this down. Let's see. Atia grew up in Ceran, the daughter of a nobleman with far too many daughters. Instead of finding husbands for all his many girls and paying the subsequent dowries, Achia's father sent many of the younger children to convents and temples to train for religious work. Achia and her twin were separated at the age of 8 and sent into different religious duties. Achia entered in an obscure nunnery on the outskirts of Ceran, and let's see. Achia trained and studied under the abbess of the nunnery where she lived, and was soon praised and trusted because of her quick wit and determination. They grew very close. And so when the abbess died a few years later and a new one took her place, harsh and cruel, Achia entered a deep depression. Disheartened at being doomed to stay locked away in the abbey forever, Achia escaped the abbey after a group of religious pilgrims visited and stowed away with them to wander Ceran for several years. Towards the end of her wandering, she met a mysterious man named Joven, who was visiting the same pilgrimage site. And I think we're seeing this as like a part of a flashback. And we see that Joven is like an older man, maybe upper middle ages, and he's played by Hugo Weaving. So I'll
it's Elrond, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
So Joven,
cool.
Joven Evandris. So that's this guy, and he's the leader of the order right now.
He looks a lot like Ian McGregor right there.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
he has a good beard.
Is that Hugo Weaving? It's like, oh
yeah.
This looks like
so we see this person. She meets this mysterious man who's visiting the same pilgrimage site, and was by this man was tested and then inducted into the order, right? So he saw potential in her and then inducted her into the order. Overwhelmed and inspired by the organization and its mission, Achia felt more and more drawn to the stars and the secrets they could reveal. Already trained in astrology from her time in the Abbey, she instantly gained major recognition when she cast an augury and named and revealed 5 individuals whose actions would lead to the end of the Age of Reckoning. She was then promoted by the order and tasked to pursue the prophecy she had uncovered, which led her, surprisingly, back to religious life. She became the abbess at the nunnery of Estel and spent several years investigating the secrets of the augury had directed her towards. This path drew her into the events of Crow Inquisitors. So, and then basically what happened...
Augury.
This was her augury. She was the one who initiated this whole thing. But she's worried now that, like, she's not sure. Well, she obviously knows that the augury was false the first time, right? In some way, right? And the falseness being this is going to save the world, right?
Yeah.
Instead of destroy the world. That's the thing she
right.
got. Right, it's like the word for destroy got blotted out, and she read a different star next to it instead, and it was save, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And that's why it was so vague, because it was like a word that could mean save, but maybe could mean something else. And
it said can't, but she read can.
Yeah.
The T was a little smudged.
The T, but she was like, there was an apostrophe at the end of it, and I was confused about that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like,
oh man.
We don't know whether the order. We don't technically know whether or not they know that it's false.
Right.
Yeah, and so the other thing she reveals. Yeah, I was gonna say the other thing she reveals is like the time that she's been spending the last 3 years has been. There's been a weird thing where a bunch of the order has been going against this augury and was like, no, this is not good news. Like, we should not be doing this. Like, stop. And Joven,
didn't they kill them all?
Well, yeah, exactly. And Joven, the leader of the order, was always on Achia's side, right? It has always believed in her, right? and basically purged the order of anyone who was against the task. And now the order is all on board for this. But now Ichi's like, wait a second, I think the other people were right. Like, so what do I do? Like, she's worried.
Awkward.
She doesn't know who to trust or anything. So
in character, I guess I say. So the concern is not as much that the order is disrupting you or twisting your augury, but rather that they've reinforced the false augury, and now you're concerned what they'll say if you.
I don't know who to trust. I don't know if they know,
or
they know.
Possibly even think that like demons are deceiving her right now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, they're like, no, they're deceiving you. Like the first one was right, the second one's wrong. Right?
Yeah, so she's like, I trust the stars. I know that I'm right this time, and so like I'm going to follow this where it needs to be followed, and not care what the order says at this point. Like that's the more
she also
important
has the vision to reinforce that. So because obviously I'll now that she said that, I'll share that, right, to reinforce her belief that she's right this time. But yeah, I suppose that means that I suspect the order won't be glad to hear that they purged that element when that element was correct, unless, as you say, maybe that was their intention.
It might be. That's what I'm worried about. I've always trusted Joven before, but I don't know. He's a very charismatic man. He could convince anyone of anything. Those sorts of men are dangerous.
Yeah. Do you have people in the order who are adept at detecting demonic possession and interference?
She could make a circles roll. I don't have a character in mind, but they could exist technically.
Yeah. I mean, he's not necessarily looking for one. He just wants to know if it's possible this guy's possessed and they wouldn't know. Or like they have actual possessed members. But if they have people who are good at detecting that stuff, then he assumes that they would have detected it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the main
I think I'll make a circles roll to determine that. She has a fate. Okay, so the answer is no. So and it's not even like, no, we don't have anyone who can do that, but it's just like she's like, I don't know, that's not something we've particularly focused on.
Right. Well, the only motivation someone might have to reinforcing an augury that would have eventually led to the re-solidification, I suppose, of demonic forces is a demon or somebody who's been promised much by a demon. So maybe we should what was his name?
Joven
to an exorcism, or at least something to detect.
At least Cantarius's touch.
Right. Fortunately, I happen to be in the company of a couple accomplished demon hunters. I suppose the difficult part will be arranging to meet somebody as elusive as Joven.
Yeah, she shakes her head. She's like, I don't think it's possible to just summon him.
Yeah.
Well,
I suppose.
What happens if? Sorry.
I think she says, I suppose if we. It's possible if I just denounce the order, and if it is this important to him, he might send someone at least.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Who will they send if you turn your back on them? I'm sure they'll send somebody.
Yeah, she frowns and she says, likely who would be sent first is Joven's major domo, Emil. And Emil is played by, I forgot. I didn't write his actor name down. That guy. Yeah. So, really tall, skinny, kind of mop of hair, very angular face. And basically she says, that's likely who he'll send first if he's truly worried about what's happening here.
What if we use Asia as our inside man?
Suppose that's true. You could lead us to him. That might be easier.
Well, she could pretend like she's willing to sacrifice us because she's kind of shown that in the past. But if this time she actually is on our side and is just pretending to show her loyalty to the order for us, then we could find out more about what the order knows or whether or not they're.
Yeah. Actually, now that we have eight genders, I guess now that we know our interests align, Theo and I were intending to do our best to acquire these relics and then abscond with them rather than activate them. But
I see.
You're the only order presence here. There's no reason we can't just imitate them and claim that we've received them and activated them when, in fact, we've received neither of them. They're pretty, I mean, at least the one we're pursuing now is about as safe as it can become, although maybe once Armando is removed. It's at least well guarded. Unfortunately, it's well guarded by somebody who has interest in seeing it fall into the hands of the order if they are doing what we expect they're doing. Yeah. But we intend to solve that anyways. So maybe we can just pretend that we found what we need and use that as a way to gain access.
I suppose I would feel more comfortable if we actually did have them in our hands. I trust, I mean, you two are very powerful men. I'm sure you could keep them safe.
Well, that's possible, but there are many ways to lose a thing beyond being defeated in a honorable duel. If we bring them the actual artifacts, we at least must be sure they haven't been awakened first.
Of course.
Yeah, well, regardless, as I just mentioned, the artifact that we're pursuing now is under the command of Armando, right? His name, call him. Who is one of the two individuals we know to be possessed in the city, which means if the order comes for it and there is a reason that, if there's any communication between these elements at all, he'll just let them take it. And that would be an issue. So we should acquire it first. And actually, perhaps we could use that to our advantage. If there is a thing here, if there is something going on in the background, maybe we can convince Armando to just let us walk out with it. With the guys that we know what's really happening. Obviously, I couldn't make that argument. He wouldn't believe me, but perhaps you could.
And maybe I'm not understanding what.
So if Armando's a demon, and if he is in communication with the order at all, and the order is actually trying to release demons, then he'd be like, "Oh, you want the thing that releases all the demons? That sounds neat. Here." Because he's in charge of it.
We're being deceived by the order who's working for Armando, who's working for all the demons.
Yeah, basically, if there is a demon in the head of the order and he's in communication with the most powerful demon around, this guy, which isn't Armando, but Armando's adjacent to him, then it stands to reason that he would also want this relic to fall into the order's hands, and so he might just give it to them or us if we're pretending to work for them. Although there will probably be some more reading involved, and that might be difficult. But
what kind of role would we make Connor or Caleb if we were trying to stop the demon from reading our mind? Because if we got close to him and then we're really close to him.
Yeah, the only role that would be happening if that's actually occurring would be the demon making a roll themselves. It would just be against your.
It's not even against anything to do with you, right? It's it's just an ob based on
what they're trying to find.
Yeah. So it doesn't even matter how willful you are, I don't think.
As a reminder, I don't think Cantarius has role determined that demons all automatically have aura reading or anything. Either.
Right. He just may.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not a given that that would be a thing.
Right.
So just because you're in a demon's presence doesn't mean they get to read your mind.
That might be the easiest play. The only issue is that if it falls through, we've put ourselves in a difficult spot. Mm-hmm. What do you think? Should we just try to? I mean, we're not the stealthiest person in the world.
Small chance to success. What are we waiting for?
Yep. All right. Yeah, well, we should accomplish one of these things because it's 10 o'clock and we've just mostly been. I mean, we've accomplished a lot. We just haven't gone anywhere. So let's
talking.
Yeah, I mean, do we want to give that a shot?
A lot of conversations.
We're going to Armando then.
Is that the plan?
We're off to see the bishop, the wonderful Bishop of Oz. All right. Because.
Is Asia coming with us then?
Because he is.
I assume so. I think. Yep, exactly. I think the play is to be like, oh yeah, so we know that you're actually trying to release all the demons, and that's cool. So give us the thing. And Asia, I think, is probably the only way we can do that. Yeah.
Oh, you just have Asia say
that. I'm not going to say it. He wouldn't believe.
We pretend like we don't know we're being deceived.
That's probably a good call. Yeah, we'll have Asia go and be like,
hey, Asia has falsehood. Yeah, I was gonna say Asia has falsehood. So
I was gonna say I hope so. She suckered us pretty good. So we just have to send her in to be like these suckers, and then he'll just let us walk in. It'll be great. And if not, then we'll kill everybody.
Does she know Armando or no? She never met him before.
I don't think she's met him. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Actually, I think can we first go get Min because Min is somebody who can defend her.
Yeah,
who would be believably with her.
Yeah.
So assuming there's no I'm fine with just being like, I don't think I wrote a belief about that. So as long as they don't turn me away, I'll be like, hey, I need of this dude.
Yeah, I mean, you're the guy who put him in prison in the first place. So, and you're the guy in charge of all the holy knights. I don't think anyone cares. Yeah.
Okay, I kind of figured. So, all right.
Sergio. Okay, the only question would be is if you didn't want Sergio to find out about it, you can make some sort of role to basically be just like keep this between yourselves, like no one else should know about this.
Yeah, I mean,
what you could do, you could command the people that you're talking
I think I would just rely on the bureaucratic mess to keep it from his eye. Like I feel like he'd have to be watching this kind of stuff pretty closely for him to care.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he doesn't keep.
The thing is, he is. I already know he is. He has a belief about it. Not about Min specifically, but about the order. So
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you didn't want him to know, there would have to be a role in some way.
Yeah, I guess I'm not really sure if I care that he knows because it's not like I'm doing it for a bad reason. So I'll just explain
and
it.
It's not that Sergio would try to stop you. He would just know about it and might do something based on that information. Right.
That's fine with me. Yeah. I mean, Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Yep. So, some one of the guards who has been, told by Sergio, if Min ever leaves the cell, you tell me immediately. Like he runs, he takes his break after you get Min out of the cell and goes and tells Sergio. Right. Okay, cool. So yeah, Min is perfectly fine with getting out of the cell.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have any.
He was kind of like under house arrest, right? Like
pretty much. Yeah, it wasn't like a terrible situation.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like he has a house necessarily, but it's certainly not a bad prison cell. I don't think. Yeah. Right. He's given plenty of food and stuff. Yeah. So I think we probably just see the door open to the cell and Min's sitting in the. Again, it's probably nice. So he's probably like sitting in a chair reading a book, maybe in the prison cell.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
So what is Theo thinking right now about the whole Kraos situation?
He's kind of like I don't think he's I think he wants to see where it goes because I think he wants to believe that it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Does he actually know the name? Has he said it?
I think so.
Okay.
You can make a doctrine roll to like track down that name. See if it shows up as a powerful demon lord or something, doctrine? Right? You do, yeah. Remember, you were a priest for a while.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
You only have a doctrine of 2, but you also have foreign doctrine, which you could fork in. And that's about it.
I think he suspects it, and I don't think he wants to find out. I think,
that's fair.
I think there might be a situation where he's like, I don't want to say I'll do this because I don't know if he will. It depends on what situations he's in. Yeah. But it's like the Lord of the Rings, like, I'm here, so he's like, the ring is mine. And then he puts on the rings. No! He kind of
we'd have to.
betrayal.
Yeah, we'd have to lead up to that believably for it to actually happen. Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. I think he's just kind of like, I'm just gonna keep it secret for now. Let's see where this goes. He's not gonna. I don't know if he's gonna.
I mean, you've invested enough time and energy into this so far, like over the last year or whatever, that you wouldn't just like immediately be like, he's a demon, get him away from me, right? You'd be like, well, I still need my power, right? I still need.
I don't know. I think he still doesn't trust the gods, so he's like, well, I don't really want the world to be destroyed, but what has the world ever done for me? Like, he's kind of been betrayed by the world and everybody, so he's like, I don't know, maybe he'll be convinced, but he's keeping that. Like, we'll see where this goes. I don't think he's going to be actively trying to like thwart
betray everybody. Yeah,
he's working. He's going to do exactly what he's doing, but he's like, if there's like an opportunity,
maybe if we do get all the artifacts together, maybe I will activate them.
Theo, when the world turns its back on you, you turn your back on the world. Yeah. Right. Sorry, I just came in and that was what you were saying.
Trying to see if I can get a deeds point at some point.
Yeah, I'm already planning out like whenever I have to turn against Sergio, that'll be one. So I need one other deeds moment, and then I'll have. So yeah, it's smart. You want to plan them out because one, it also means you're planning out a character arc, which is fun, and also then you don't have to try and figure it out later.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. Simultaneously, like get a deeds point, and then do like let's say I had 2 deeds point, 10 persona. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to gray shade this. And then if I could do it all, it's like if I had to face between, doing the right thing and not getting a deeds point. And like, I don't know, if I'm like pretty close to like actually transcending as like a deity, I might take that opportunity.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah. So I think,
sorry, what's up?
No, you're good. I think Min is, there's probably be a short conversation between you and Min here. So Min is, I think, in there, like on a wooden chair, like reading a book or something that you've provided for him. Because house arrest, he's not forbidden possessions or anything. So, he just looks up, says, nice of you to visit me again, Dellon.
Yeah. Hia needs your help. She's going to assist us in retrieving an artifact, but I believe she has some things to inform you about. But she needs to be protected during this next step of our plan, and I can't provide that protection considering the circumstances. So we were being released on condition that you follow through on that.
He seems very surprised by this because he didn't even know Hia was in town. So
yeah.
He blinks. I see. There are no other stipulations to this? No tricks?
Not from me. I can't promise that Sergio won't show up and add something last second. He's been what's the word?
Difficult?
Yeah. It's unpredictable. He's been unpredictable lately. Hard to decipher. So I won't promise you that nothing will happen, but I won't do anything. You'll stay with Hia as far as I'm concerned.
I think I want you to make a persuasion roll here. Not that he wouldn't go with you, but that just he's sold that you're telling the truth and like are actually on his side.
Shouldn't he make an empathy roll?
He could, but it's I mean, he doesn't have that. He's just gonna fail it, and then that's less interesting.
All right.
I'll look real quick and see if.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I just am bad at persuasion. So,
let's see. What do I? In it. That's not bad.
Well, yeah, but the average difficulty is like 5 or 6, so it is bad. Unlike every other difficulty in the game, which is like an average is 2 or 3.
You just need to go convince peasants of things.
Yeah, but why would I do that?
Fair enough.
All right. Peasants can be strong-willed.
His will is 4.
Okay, so I mean it's technically possible. Let's see if any of my nope. Not killing him, so no.
Maybe just ugly truth.
Yeah, I was thinking
like
that might
H is in danger.
Sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
and like you'll be in jail otherwise.
Yeah.
So
If you say no, there's
right. I could just leave, I guess. Bye. All right.
I have an idea for if you fail here, what he's gonna do.
Yeah, I suspect that I probably will. So yeah, look, I did. I got two sixes.
though.
Yeah, I got fate. I want to spend it on my sword, but I'll spend one.
Yeah, 1 for 2 sixes is good.
Yeah, it's not bad. That's just good enough for me to fail. Here you go.
One remaining.
Oh shoot, I did it backwards. One second.
There you go.
There you go.
All I needed. Yeah. So he nods slowly, stands up, like puts the book on his like bed there, his like cot, and he just says, "Where's my sword?" And we probably just cut from there, right?
Yeah, I was to say, I don't know.
Obviously, you're going to send someone for it, but the implication is he's like, "I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
like,
ready.
Give me my weapon." Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I hope they still have it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you had failed that roll, he would have been like, "Listen, Dellon, I'm not leaving. Like, I'm going to leave this cell no matter what. But like, I need you to promise me I'm not going back in there. Like, this is done. Yeah. Like, there's no reason I need to be in prison anymore. Like, we need to hash this out right now." But I think he's just convinced by your words. Like, H is in trouble. That's all that matters. Like, I just need to go protect Achia. So, because he does have a belief about Achia. So he was going to come out no matter what. It was just like whether or not he was going to hash it out with you first.
Have a problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Sounds good.
Cool. Yeah. So you're just going to walk into the temple district and.
Yeah.
So is this like you just show up unannounced, or you set up a meeting with him?
I feel like this is more believable if I don't set up a meeting, so I'm just not going to do it. I feel like when does Dellon ever set up meetings with people? So
fair enough. I mean, he probably has to at some point. He is kind of in the church.
Yeah, but
if
I
he did that too often, people would get very annoyed. There is procedure.
Yeah, they probably are. My etiquette is being learned.
Meeting already?
Yeah. I'm like, well, I needed to talk to you now. Why would I wait?
Because I'm in the middle of something. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, talking to me. All right.
Yeah, okay. So let's see. The temple district is over here. This is the Grand Temple of the Great God over on this island. Right over there. So these two islands are the temple district. So what you're likely doing is taking like a ship, like a little boat, over to the temple district.
Okay.
Cool. From the noble district over here.
Yeah. And
even though it doesn't show one on this map, there's probably a little dock or whatever somewhere on this island.
Did we determine this is pre-explosives?
Yes, it's pre-gunpowder at least. Like you could probably like come up with something else to like make some sort of explosion or whatever, but it wouldn't be like gunpowder. Yeah. Like I know Cantares has done like alchemy stuff before to attempts to do something like that, but it hasn't been gunpowder exactly. So. Okay, so the thing with this world is like the magic is so prevalent and powerful. There's very little reason to get guns because a lot of people already have the equivalent of guns in like magic fire and stuff, right?
And they have a vested interest in other people not being able to do that.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so I think we see you guys just like stroll into the Grand Temple of the Great God, right? And it's like huge. Vaulted ceiling, Sistine Chapel, like sort of a thing, huge like paintings on the top of the ceiling, that sort of stuff. Very vaulted, domed kind of chamber here, vaulted ceilings. And it's probably just like Armando. I'm trying to think of where he would be. Because I don't know if he's like on a throne or something in the middle of this chamber. Like this is like a temple. I'm just trying to think of like what he'd actually be up to. Like
probably has like a study or something like that, I imagine.
I'm also wondering, I think it's an interesting, I'm imagining the visuals of this scene. It would be fun to have this conversation in the middle of like the big temple or whatever. But it's possible that's just not an option.
I mean, you could be like on the pulpit or something, like, just at the pulpit, not like,
is a
like preaching.
Bishop. I don't.
Or maybe it's mass.
He has
or
oratory.
Yeah. Is blackmail give you any like advantage dice? Is there any way you could like blackmail? Like if you have advantage over somebody in persuasion, like Oh yeah, like I have leverage on you to persuade you. How do you? Is that
You
just
get
like
advantage dice. Yeah, you get advantage dice for that. You could also set up rolls in advance to like get blackmail and then do advantage dice. There's also the extortion skill, which you could use if you just have blackmail over someone to like have them give you money. So yeah, I think Armando is like, so this is probably at a time where the temple is like off limits to like just normal random pilgrims or whatever who are coming here, right?
Okay.
And so it's just Armando, and he's doing like the normal. There's some sort of maybe consecration ritual that the bishop has to do every so often, maybe every 12 hours or something. And not in the Holy of Holies, but in like the larger part of the temple here.
Right.
And he's probably just there all alone by himself. Like there's guards, obviously, but like
Right.
there's the only person that matters in the room is him, and he's like knelt at like a prayer cushion or something. At like this table where there's like incense and stuff. And he seems to be praying, you think? He's muttering. It sounds like a little bit more less disciplined than a prayer
Since we're
should
looking
be.
for it.
Yeah.
Is there any well-known way to like kill a werewolf silver? Is there anything that like
right
we did physically to him, it would imply that he was a demon in some way?
That's a
like
good question.
Could he go in the Holy of Holies, or would it like hurt him? Like, is that a thing?
That's a fair question. Yeah, he probably couldn't. Maybe.
I would think
it depends on if the Holy of Holies actually has like a
holy.
like an aura or whatever. It probably does. Yeah, we can probably just say that he's either faked going in there when he needs to. Actually, well, he doesn't need to go in there. Sergio needs to go in there.
Right. Yeah, he can't go in there, right?
So yeah, Armando himself is the caretaker of the temple, but is not allowed in the Holy of Holies. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm looking at the possessed trait right now and just to see real quick.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, there's a chance I might just run this guy into the Holy of Holies and hold him in there until he dies.
Yeah. Let's see the GM. Let's see
if everything goes wrong. I mean,
okay. Oh, he also needs the lawbreaker trait. I need to look up what that one is.
Sorry to totally
no.
What we were just doing, but
I needed to figure out some of the details of this anyway.
Yeah. If you want, we can do what we came here for, and then we can square away the rest of that later. Because
I'm just going to look real quick at what the law. I just want to make sure there's nothing obvious that would. Okay, so let's see. There are strict celestial laws that govern the presence of the otherworldly creatures in the mortal realm. When a spirit-natured creature crosses over, he is bending those very laws, warping the natural order of things. Thus, the creatures are accompanied by all manner of bizarre phenomena as the mortal fabric reacts to their presence. Birds sing backwards, windows crack in strange patterns, clocks cease to tick, so on and so forth. The effects of Lawbreaker extend to the limits of the presence for Black Shade Will. Okay, yeah, so he has this trait. So you guys know that Armando has been keeping to himself for a long time now. He just stays in his temple here and in his study, and very rarely comes out to do anything else. I think the effects are minor enough that people haven't noticed too much, but if you spent enough time around the guy, you would find weird phenomena like that happening.
Okay, interesting.
So this is what it looks like, by the way, as a reminder. Big rotund man. He looks way skinnier than he used to, though, because he's been like just stressed, not eating, sort of the thing, right? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, in terms of the possessed trait, let's see if there's anything else that is relevant. There's an aura, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Cantarius could learn all sorts of things about the demon, because of Armando, but he's not here right now. So for you, the biggest thing would just be, some sort of actual exorcism or faith roll. But yeah, honestly, the Holy of Holies might be a good bet. Like, at the very least, he'd have to make a test to like not have something bad happen to him.
Okay,
I think that's a reasonable conclusion.
Cool. Of course, I'm sure I would get a lot of trouble for going in there too. So
yes, you would.
Cool. All right.
I mean, you just push him across the threshold, right?
Yeah. Is that how easy is it to access? Is it like an open area, or?
It's like a big veil, right? There's like a big,
Right.
like it's like the very back of the temple. There's just a really thick, heavy curtain.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
it's just that the social taboo of going in there is enough to keep anyone away. So
yeah.
it's just it's execution, right? Like you go past this, you just die, whether or not by God or they execute you afterwards.
Yeah. And then so I guess if I push him in there and he like fell over, would they be like, oh, he was possessed, or would they be like, oh, that's not surprising?
That's fair. There'd be a chance that something more dramatic than that would happen. You're not sure. I don't think Dellon knows.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
You'd have to make like a demonology test or something to know for sure.
Right. Okay. Sorry to derail.
No,
so okay, yeah, I guess we just come in and
you come in. I think there's definitely like a moment like the guards start like coming towards him and like try to stop you from coming any closer because they're like, whoa, like this is like private time you're supposed to have to pray or whatever.
Am I prevented from carrying in weapons? Because I'm sure Dellon, they probably allow him to carry a weapon. But
yeah, they might. So this is the thing. I feel like Dellon is just barging through things to get to this point. I think you can at least get in the doors. There's like probably a cadre of guards who are following you after you got in it. Like, and there's like, going to be a confrontation right now in the middle of this room. But like Dellon was able to barge through them all without being stopped. And so I think Theo has his weapon. But now is the time where like a bunch of guards come around you and are like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I think I waved them off and I'm like, we have church business to discuss. You may leave.
Bye-bye. Yeah, and I think a guy from the back of the crowd like comes forward, and it's Medetto Fall, that soldier guy who
the captain, yeah.
You were friends with, who like stopped your duel or whatever.
Right, yeah.
He says, Dellon, I keep finding you in what's the word? Something situations.
Complicated.
Yeah. I keep finding you causing a ruckus in the middle of places you shouldn't be. Do you want to explain to me what's going on here? I came to check in on my men, and this is what I find.
Places I shouldn't be, like a cathedral and the temple.
A cathedral when the bishop is supposed. Dellon, you know the procedure here.
Yes, the procedure is that at this point in time, the temple is meant to not be filled with random people.
He looks over at me and Aisha.
They're not. You're with me. You're not random people, but all these guys are random people.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but their job is to make sure that the sanctity of the temple. Yeah.
His other point was that this is the time for me to go speak to him because he's not like giving a lecture to people. Like, he's not doing anything right now. So
So I think Medetto then just says, "Then who are these? Who are these two? They're not allowed they're not allowed in here.
They're my retinue and
or
crucial
three,
to
I
the
guess,
business.
Men would be there too.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you say? I talked.
I said they're basically like my retinue, like my hangers on, but then I say they're also crucial to the business at hand.
Okay, so now go ahead and make a roll. I don't think Medetto is going to take too much persuasion, but like it's his job to question things like this.
Yeah.
So I feel like you maybe just making a command. Yeah, you're just like, I'm above you in this situation. Like, just follow my orders.
Yeah,
which gives you an extra die, right?
Jurisdiction. Go away. All right.
Which gives you an extra die, I believe, for commanding aura. Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Yep. You just get a straight +1 die to all command rolls.
Oh, sick. All right. So got that, and then can I do? I mean, I'm not intimidating him because I don't want him to feel like he's threatened physically here. But I don't know if it's really an ugly truth. It kind of is.
Yeah, it's an ugly truth. Yeah.
Okay. Can you oratory?
You're not rolling an ugly truth, but you can fork in an ugly truth. Yeah.
Oratory, does that count?
Yeah. There's a whole big crowd around. Yeah.
Is he wearing armor?
He is, but that won't help.
I'm outnumbered.
Yeah, I think that works.
Sweet. Persuasion,
Yeah.
I
of course.
assume. Yeah. Okay. I feel like that's probably it. I didn't really say anything doctrine related.
Yeah, I don't think you made an argument about his immortal
I mean,
soul.
I guess part of it was that I was here attending at a time that it wasn't open to the public for a reason, but I don't really know if that's doctrine necessarily.
Yeah, I'll give you a die for doctrine. That makes sense. You made a good argument that like this is the only time I could.
Yeah, trying to avoid interrupting a service or something. Yeah. All right, cool.
Does Theo chime in at all?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
all three of you help, right?
Yeah. What is it called? I forgot. The persuasion one, the hypnosis or whatever.
Oh, that's true. You literally
What?
have faith in dead gods. You can hypnotize them right now.
I don't know if I should do it right away.
That would be a fallback. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
hypnosis is also a rough thing to do with other people around because it works fine for the guy who's hypnotized, but everyone else is like, bro.
Well, I'm not gonna be like, ooh, it's probably like
right.
My speech is hypnotizing.
You're praying. Yeah,
I see. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't pray to a demon in the temple. I don't. This feels like we might be lighting a match in front of a pool of gasoline and hoping it doesn't light.
Does Theo say anything, or just keep quiet until then?
I think he's waiting. I think he's
that's fine. I think it can make sense either way for Theo to talk here.
Yeah.
Okay, so your Ob is 6. He has a good will.
H used to be part of the church. She can help me, right?
That's true. Yeah. Let me look at her sheet.
She can be like, I'm a nun. You can't
yeah. There we go. The falsehood. she'll just add 2 dice to you for her falsehood of 5. And she basically just says like, yeah, I'm an abbess, right? Here to also like back up Dellon's. Like I am supposed to be here, and these are my guards, right? Like, yeah.
I think Dellon's probably like, oh yeah, I forgot that was like okay. All right, here we go. I can't wait to fail this with like 13 dice.
That'd be great.
What's the app?
6.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. It's possible. Oof. Only I tried.
Nice.
I tried to fail that. All right.
Yeah. So Medetto like calls off the guards, right? Like especially the ones that were like following from other places, like has them back off, and then sends the guards back to their posts that are supposed to be in this temple, and like steps up to you for a moment before you go and talk to Armando. And Armando has gone silent. He's just like kneeling there, but he's just like gone silent. And Medetto like leans in and he says, Dellon, what's going on? Is it something I should be involved in?
Why don't you stick around for a little bit, just in case? And I'll like
of course.
Tap his shoulder, like, and sorry about that. I don't mean to keep undermining your authority. I don't ask permission. I ask for forgiveness. And I realize that runs very counter to your job. And I apologize that we keep running into each other like this.
He doesn't say much, but he just like steps away, like to
like, yes, you're
stands
annoying
there. But he nods and he just steps away and like stands there ready for whatever's going to happen.
Yeah. Cool. All right, I'm gonna talk to Armando.
Okay, sounds good. So Armando's just like kneeling there and hasn't said anything, and you guys like stand up, walk up to him, or standing behind him.
And I say, I probably do like a religious bow, like sign of
It's
reverence.
the folding of the hands outward is like the greeting.
Right? Oh yeah, I do that. I say, I apologize for interrupting your prayers, Bishop. I have a urgent matter to discuss. And I look over at H and I'm like, I got you in.
Mm-hmm.
Loud enough for him to hear. So it's like, yeah, I'm doing what you want, H. Yeah, I'm helping you out. Here you go. Mm-hmm. And then I think I might go stand off to because this is supposed to be a thing we're not privy to.
Mm-mm.
So I think, and maybe we talked about this earlier, maybe like beforehand, that she'll like dismiss us basically.
Yeah.
So that she can,
Okay. Yeah. And I think it happens. She says,
I want it to look like we were just,
she's
just using us to get in here. Yeah.
You may leave now, Holy Knight. And that also means like Theo and Min, right? So I think you all go back.
My intention was to leave Min here because he's part of the order.
Min, right. He is part of the order. That's true.
Yeah. Just in case this guy does anything, Min at least will be there.
That makes sense.
So I'll
You both
Look
go
over at
stand
Theo and-
over by Medetto,
we'll go-
then I assume.
Yeah, and I technically Mendetto's not part of the church.
Not anymore, no, yeah. Or
And
actually, he never was, yeah.
Quintarius didn't say anything about the city guard, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Medetto actually has a belief about trusting you, so.
Okay. I mean, I think when I go over there, can I make a roll sort of just to intuit that? Like, because I think that Dellon trusts him, but this is obviously like a big deal.
Mhm. That would unfortunately be like an empathy roll.
Yeah.
Do you have that? I don't think.
I think I had assess, and we decided that I would take observation instead of
Yeah.
of
Observation makes the most sense for
empathy.
Dellon.
Yeah. And so, yeah. I mean, there's no reason for me to just fail a roll. So,
Yeah.
because
like you could read his belief with that, but
right.
I don't think you have.
No. See, I think I'll just be like, when I'll go walk over by him, like when we're leaving, and say we've had some disturbing information about the bishop, and we're here for a number of reasons. But I'm actually, is there? I mean, he doesn't have papers lying around in his room that say "I am a demon," but
No.
is there any reason to believe we might be able to dig something like that up, like, or
You might be
maybe
able
we
to
can
find something at least.
Yeah.
Do you want to just be like, yeah, go send men to like just ransack his chambers?
I just don't think he'd do that. Like, Dellon would, but I don't think he would expect this guy to do that.
Yeah, you'd probably have to make a roll too.
Yeah, and Dellon doesn't have any proof he doesn't have a warrant, right? So it's like, yeah, I think he's just we're here to sort of investigate, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Achia, I think maybe it makes more sense just like because we're in Dellon and Theo's POVs, just like you don't hear the conversation, right?
Yeah.
They talk. Armando seems to mumble something back, right? And so the idea here is that Achia is going to try to get access to the artifact, right?
Yeah. She basically is like, yeah, I got these suckers to lead me in here, but I know what these artifacts are actually for, and you should give it to me so that we can get that done.
Sounds good.
We're hoping he knows what's going on, because he's just gonna be like, what?
Yeah, now it's just up to whether or not Achia can lie well enough to fool a demon.
Yeah. Can our performance here give her a bonus die?
Sure, yeah. Well, I guess he didn't make a roll.
No, but we kind of established the situation such that it would.
That's true. You made the roll for Medetto and kind of allowed this whole thing to go down. Yeah, that's fine.
Can I try to add a dice to her faith?
No, sure. Yeah, you can pray off on the sidelines. You could do that too, Theo, if you wanted to, but you're also praying to a demon, so.
Yeah, well, she's lying, so.
Well, you're trying to give her a die?
Yeah, what's the...
well, there's a couple of different options.
Oh.
Right, like, you could do the just give a die, and that's ob 2 for you, but you could also do ob 3, and then if it gets any higher than 3, up to 6, then you can give 1 to 3 dice.
If I get 3, does she get anything?
Yeah, if you get 3, it's 1 die. And then it's... Sorry, and I guess it would be up to 5. Right?
Okay.
It would be 3
I'll
dice.
do that.
Okay, yeah.
All right. And then...
so base up 3.
You say I can make a faith roll?
Yeah. Dellon's right now making a faith roll to help give Achia more dice on her roll here, and Theo could do something similar if you...
I could try. I mean, I think you could be
actually, wait a second. Theo has faith in dead gods, which actually only really works against believers of the religion. This is something that we actually forgot to make a note of. Faith in dead gods. I think you've done it to Kentarius before, which I think is fine because he has this weird demon connection thing too. Yeah, for each, faith regularly you can do it on anyone, but faith in dead gods is like kind of weird and creepy and specific to like a cult or whatever.
Wait, what?
What?
I accidentally did ob 3, but I got 0 successes.
Wow.
Yeah. It's rough.
Wow. Okay. But yeah, so Theo, that like hypnotism is like the main thing you could use against other people who aren't believers. But the idea is that if you're giving help or something to someone, it's like another demon cultist or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Is the idea. So
is there a faith option to like exercise a demon?
There's one that's functionally that way, yeah.
Isn't there supposedly like a one true God that supposedly could be dead or something, or like he's not in the picture?
Oh, that's the great God that Dellon prays to.
And we don't know where he is. Is he alive, or how come we don't hear about him?
Well, you do hear about
the head of the religion, yeah. Like he's
only this religion. So Theo, your like original religion that you came from is like the regular Garrick Pantheon stuff, and they have a figure called the Creator, who is like this kind of like, you know, deist god almost, who like kind of set the world spinning and then left. Whereas the Ceran church, they're like, yeah, that guy that you call the Creator, he's called the Great God, and he didn't leave. He's still here, and he controls everything. So that guy's still around, at least according to Dellon's doctrine, and his faith score would prove that there's at least something that he's praying to.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Dellon, if the demon has a will of 5 or lower, you can make an Ob 4 test to do purification and drive out the spirit.
Wow. Is it Ob 3 for me, or did you already decrease it?
Ob 4. I increased, or I already decreased it. Let's see. Or you could do an Ob 5 test for consecration, again, already reduced. And this consecration bars spirits and demons from you basically makes a place holy and sacrosanct, protected from demons. This is actually probably what they did with the Holy of Holies, actually. And it whose strength or will is lower than the faith attribute of the consecrating priest. So probably what happened is the high priest, the first high priest who made this Holy of Holies place, did a consecration on it, and he had like a 10 faith. This is like right as he was leaving the mortal plane, and he like consecrated it and left.
Yeah, like this is where he descended.
Yeah. I think if you wanted to, if the demon happened to be higher than 5 will, you would have to do like a miracle, like an Ob 10 miracle, or Ob 9 for you, but Ob 9 miracle to like drive it out.
Right. And sorry, what happens if a place is consecrated? What was the effect of that?
It's protected from the demons, so they can't enter it, and I think
yeah. Now we're getting to what happens if they try, because now that's what I was wondering.
It just says protected from the ill will.
Oh, that doesn't really
so they probably just can't go in.
Okay. But I mean, I suppose in some ways that proves it, right? If I kick him in there and he bounces off an invisible wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, cool. I'll make the
roll for
her. Yeah.
I was just curious in case this doesn't work.
Yep. Okay, so she's going to give herself her astrology dice, like the open-ended ones automatically. That she gets 2 because she has an astrology of 8 now.
Nice.
Let's see, what else?
We're basically asking him to show us where the thing is, right? Show us or let us in, or
she's trying to convince him that she is actually trying to save, like, bring back the demons, and that he should just give it to her because that's what he wants to.
All right. She tried to make a meditation roll to prepare herself for this. She didn't make it worse, but she didn't give herself a die. And then
who is it that has a thing where you can like re-roll stuff? It's Kentarius, isn't it?
Yeah, he's like our determination who can make everybody re-roll stuff. Let's see, what else should she have to this? I'll give her a fork for Omen Wise and Relic Wise and Ugly Truth. She'll add a persona to this. And now the question is, what is the ob? Let me find this.
This is where I found out what his will is and whether or not I need to.
Yeah. G6.
What?
Which means 8.
Like the engine?
Yeah. Which means an 8 for her, right? Because she only has a black shaded falsehood.
Right. Yeah.
So yes, you would have to do like a major miracle to drive the thing out. All right, here we go. Oof.
Holy
That was real
crap.
bad. She had so many dice. Well, I guess she
Yeah,
only had
she
11
got-
dice, but still, it shouldn't have been a 2.
No, yeah. She got 1 6 and like 4 2s. Yeah.
Got the
Rough.
difficult test though.
So he's just
Okay.
like, fire, get them.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the question, right? I need to look at Armando and the demon's beliefs and figure out exactly how they would respond to the situation. Hmm. This is a really good question. There's also something about this situation that I know that you guys don't yet, and I'm trying to think of how this
You're not left-handed.
flavors it. Yeah. Yeah, I guess failure here means that Armando doesn't reveal that he is even part of it, if he is, right?
Right.
So he just like plays dumb, right? So you probably just hear like you haven't heard the conversation up to this point, and then Armando suddenly like says loudly, like, "I don't know what you're talking about, woman," and like stands up.
When you like call the guards in, because if he was playing dumb,
He
like,
at least looks. He at least looks towards the guards, like, this woman is bothering me, right? And the guards like don't do anything immediately because Medetto's there and hasn't like given them an order to do something. And Armando hasn't either. He just kind of like looks at him. But do you step in and do something, or do you expect HG to keep talking to him?
I mean, I look at Theo and I say, quietly enough that Medetto isn't here. A possessed individual cannot enter the Holy of Holies. If we just push him in there and he is repelled by some force, it's basically a proof, and Medetto will hopefully.
Yeah, I think he just nods. I think he starts moving towards him.
And then I turn to Medetto.
Theo can be the one who does this.
Yeah, I turn to Medetto and I say, I was going to say we're not going to hurt him, but I don't know if that's true. I don't know if this is going to hurt him.
I think he was going to like quickly walk up there and then like really exaggerate a fall, but then like grab him like, oh
no. Sorry, I body checked you. Yeah, I say, I think I just turn to him, to Medetto. I say, I need you to keep your men back and observe what happens here. This will prove something very important. And I mean, I can help you if you want. I don't know. It won't look like an accident if I help you, but we could just like arm in arm and be like, bonk. But it's up to you how you want to play it.
So as Theo is walking towards him, though, we say that too. But like, oh, wait, actually keep talking.
So do you want me to try and help you, Theo, or do you want to try and make it look like an accident to yourself?
I think I'm gonna try and make it look like an accident, and then you just kind of like hold the guards back, because I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna like try to pretend like I'm talking, but I'm gonna make it like really quick, so it's not like, oh hey,
okay.
And just like, oh hey, don't you? And then like, oh sorry, and then just kind of like grab. Like obviously, there's gonna be a point at which I'm obviously throwing him into it.
Yeah, right.
I'm just gonna kind of like talk really fast and kind of just kind of confuse the situation where he's like, what are you talking about? What's going on? What's going on? You know, like,
yeah,
he doesn't know necessarily that I'm attacking him. He's just kind of like, I'm just gonna like berate him with
right. Like, my only concern is that being a demon, he might have like a gray 5 power or something, and if you try and push him, he might just not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like I have to make it look like I'm not actually a threat until the last second, as opposed to like, oh yeah, I'm gonna throw you into the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe we can.
Well, I think the first thing that happens is Theo starts towards him.
Yeah.
And Armando suddenly gets his face. He was like kind of like wild and insane looking before. Suddenly he gets lucidity in his eyes, and he straightens his posture and then says, guards, kill them all. Kill them at once. They have blasphemed against the great God and his temple. And he's just going to roll poisonous platitudes, gray shaded poisonous platitudes, to just be like, he's had these guards around him for a long time.
Yeah.
He's convinced them that like he's this holy man, and he's just going to like use demon power, right? Like gray shaded demon persuasion to like get them to attack you.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes.
Now would be
He's
a
four-
time to do like the difficult meditation thing, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Just fall
Can
asleep.
we oppose this in some way? Can we like try and increase the obstacle by countering that?
I mean, Dellon, you can make a roll in response, right? It could be against your roll.
Well, it'd probably be better. The ob would probably be higher if it was their will. I'm just wondering if I can like help their will. Basically, is that a thing? Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be higher if it's their will. These are just random cards.
Oh, okay.
What would a fast paced meditation or like a centering roll be? Could I?
Yeah, if you want to do an ob 4 or ob 5,
Would ob 5 be difficult?
both of those would be difficult because you have an ob. You have a 5 will right now. Either of those. Let's do ob 4.
That's just a centering roll.
Is this magic? Oh, sorry.
I don't know if I want to use persona. Probably. I mean, it might help me for whatever happens next, and I want to do it anyways. But if I fail, wait. So if I fail, what do I?
You get an increased ob. And you also didn't. You also what? Say again.
Is it increased ob to whatever I do next? Basically.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if I'm going to fight or.
It would be whatever you do next. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you already, as a note, I think you already have a +1 ob because you failed your meditation roll for sleep and ended up sleeping on the floor. Right. So you're very stiff today.
So I already have a -1. You said
you already have a +1 ob. Yeah.
You know, I can always meditate at night or something.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see.
Technically, wouldn't that just make your meditation at +1 ob, and then if you fail, you just get +1 ob again?
Probably. That's true. Yeah, it's basically he has a +1 ob right now to whatever he's going to do next. If he decides to do this meditation, he'll get that +1 ob now.
Yeah.
And then if he fails that roll, he'll get another +ob for the next thing he does.
So it's fine.
That's true. It won't be +2.
That's true. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. I want to try it because I want to use more fate. So, and I feel like.
Okay. Put the ob as 4 and put at the very last field. It'll give you an option if you're doing Being Learned meditation to do an extra ob, and put the extra ob there.
Just gonna do one persona for now.
Yep.
Although I only have 2 left. So. You said 4? Oh wait, should I have to roll for meditation? Don't I?
Isn't that what you're doing?
No.
Oh yeah, you're doing will. Oh, I see. Yeah.
And what did you
meditation
have to do?
So if you just 1 persona, 4 ob, and then the very last field should give you an option to do any extra obs that are relevant, and put a 1 there. It calculates it differently.
Oh shoot, that's like an 8, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a 9 altogether.
Yeah, or 9. Yeah.
You can do it.
That's actually a pretty good roll.
Yeah, once again, not bad.
The dice you had. If you want to bank 2 fate in it, you can reroll 2 dice.
Oh yeah, totally. I do want to do that.
You have a 6 and failed dice you could reroll. Yeah, so put remaining ob is 5.
5, 2 dice.
Yep. One of these days, one of you is going to get 5 successes in a row, but it's not today.
It is not today.
Okay, so Dellon, did you want to make an opposed roll then to be like, because the idea here is like whoever is the better church, whoever has the most holy authority here is going to succeed on this, whether it's fake or real.
That was a challenging, right?
Right.
It was difficult.
Dang it.
No, you needed difficults.
I do.
Because yeah. Okay, well I'm just going to make his roll, and we'll see how many dice we're other working with. Yeah.
I'm almost at the 10 persona.
Oh my gosh.
What?
That's absurd.
That's insane.
That is so crazy. 14 successes.
He's grade shaded, though, isn't he?
Yeah, it's grade shaded. That's why he got so many successes, because there's a bunch of 3s too.
Okay, so we're gonna have to fight.
Yep.
This isn't very good for Dellon because if suddenly he's like marked as a heretic,
yeah,
then we don't have a connection anymore unless we can take them all out before anybody sees anything. I don't know.
Yes, kill them all.
Well, I guess I might as well still try.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use command if that's cool.
Yeah, makes sense.
Can I use
like
ugly truth?
Ugly truth. Yep.
Can I use intimidation since it's violence that's being considered here.
Yep. What are you actually saying?
Basically, I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna spill the beans because at this point it doesn't matter.
He's a demon.
Like, yeah, this man is suspected of possession, and we are going to test that theory. Stand down.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so
they're like basically hypnotized, right?
He's trying to basically. I imagine these are like what's his nose with worm tongue speaking in his ear, right? Like.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, did you say ugly truth was okay?
Ugly truth is fine. Yep, he's a demon. Right.
That's fair. Oratory, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. Shoot, I keep losing track.
So does gray shading just automatically reroll?
No, gray shading makes 3s now successes instead of just 4s and above.
Oh, okay.
Right, and then white shading would be anything but a 1 is a success.
Wow.
Which is why it's so powerful. Exactly.
Persuasion, I assume.
Yeah.
Outnumbered rise, I assume.
Say it again.
Outnumbered wise, is that?
Number wise is fine. Make sure you add your command die from your trait as well.
Yeah, and then can I do either suasion or doctrine?
Suasion is fine. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
The implication is there.
Research successes with a gray shade.
Yeah, 3+ is success instead of 4+.
3+. Okay.
Am I getting help from anybody? Can what's his nose help
Medetto,
me?
yeah, Medetto can help. Yeah.
Medetto was not.
He's not a church guy.
No, he hasn't been like.
Oh.
You can get 2 dice from Medetto for command.
Oh, cool. And then also, I didn't ask about this last time, but I have, I know sometimes we get advantage dice for affiliation reputations. I have 2 dice reputation as Commander of the Holy Knight and a 2 dice Church of Ceran.
Yeah, to go ahead and give 1 more die for your position.
Okay. Is it 1 die for an affiliation?
Yeah, I think just 1 die in general. No, just 1 die in general for
okay.
like you being a Holy Knight. Yeah.
Okay.
You spend some Martha on this?
You're muted.
Yeah, Gwendolyn is singing a Super Kitty song in the background, so I'm muting myself. But yeah, I'll spend 1 persona because I suppose it's command, so I like command anyways. Apparently, I have not spent any personas, but all right, 14 base. Here we go.
That was really good. You got so many 6s, dude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 6s.
That would be 13 though.
Yeah, but if any of those 6s get 6s, they reroll 2.
Oh, and you could spend
actually
2
a decent
fate.
Chance of it. Yeah, and
you can spend 2 fate and reroll 6 dice.
I mean, I need this fate for my sword, but all right, okay, I'll do it. This is important.
This is pretty important, yeah.
Okay, so
like I feel like with the 14 and with like Medetto, it kind of involved in the failure here because he's giving you dice. I feel like he might turn against you if like he actually succeeds on this roll, or at least pause, right? Like hesitate.
Yeah. All right. So I have what's 6 remaining odd, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And I've got what was it? 2, 4, 7 dice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice.
Yeah, but then I spent 2, so I get another one.
No, 6 dice because there's 5 6s and the 1 failed dice.
Oh yeah,
1, 2,
okay,
3, 4, 5.
I thought I counted 6, but yeah, you're right. Okay. Are you serious?
That was really bad.
It's a good first roll. Terrible.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Well, you can mark that difficult command.
Yeah, that's true.
You said Medetto might turn on us?
I don't think he's going to turn on you, but I think he hesitates.
Like,
I don't
not
think
going to help. I mean, he's not going to fight his own men. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he just is not going to turn on his own guards. So
yeah. All right.
All
Well,
right.
here we go.
Yep.
Now, I mean, technically, we can fight them non-lethally, right? We don't have to kill people. Isn't that right?
Yeah, we could
Decide
do it
how
not
that
as a
works.
bloody versus then, and just have it be one roll, with your intent of just subdue them and not kill them.
That would be ideal.
Mhm.
Also, I just out of curiosity, how do we want to do this? Because Theo and Dellon are both combat characters, and it would be really dumb for Theo's entire combat kit to be reduced to giving me a dice or vice versa. So how do we want to do
Theo,
that?
are you just charging towards Armando, and maybe Dellon's just fighting?
Oh yeah, why not?
The guards.
He might hesitate because he's like, do I don't know. Does he go after him and try to push him into the Holy of Holies?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, as long as you, as a player, are cool with it, I'll be like, push him into the Holy of Holies. He can't stand that. It's consecrated. Push him in.
Like the scene from Lord of the Rings when he's like when Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli are all fighting him, and he's like,
Yeah, Theo's just marching towards Armando. Gets his trident out.
you have no power.
I can't carry the demon, but I can carry you, yeet. All right, here we go.
I think he's gonna go after him, and then if he does some sort of demon thing, like knocks him away, he probably would just be like, "Oh my goodness!" Like maybe we should live to fight another day and go fight the other guys.
Yeah. Okay. So first thing I want is Dellon needs to make his roll to subdue the guards, because if he can't do that, then Theo won't be able to make his roll.
Yeah.
Right. Like one of the guards will attack Theo then.
Oh goodness! And I'm getting help from Midnight. Right?
Like where position wise are we? Because I thought that Armando is kind of up ahead, and then so is, and then I'm kind of in the middle because I started talking. Are they between us and the?
So here's the bad map on.
I think they're just vaguely surrounding us.
Yeah.
I thought
this half circle up here is the Holy of Holies, right? The circle is like the room you guys are in. What's his face? Armando is like standing right here at like a table. And Dellon and you and Medetto are all standing there, at least at the start of this whole thing.
Although Theo did start
the
walking
table.
ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Armando's right here, and Hio is right there too. Theo is like moving between these two positions, and the guards are coming from like here.
Oh,
the sides.
Yeah,
because they're not coming from behind you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. Mendetto's guards went away, I think.
Yeah.
Also, these aren't. That's why, because these aren't
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, Medetto is still technically over them. I think he's like in charge of like the city's.
Yeah, he's a captain.
Like
of the guard, right?
Yeah, exactly. But
they're just
these are Armando's specific guards. So
this is their post or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, they could intercept you, but Dellon's gonna like charge forward and be like, no, really attack. So
yeah. And I assume that Min is helping me, right?
Yeah, Min can help. He's mainly trying to make sure Hio is not in any trouble. But
you're gonna help me. Their secret kung fu.
Hio does not have any fighting skills now.
Astrology.
About the closest she has to a physical skill is monastic ritual, which just lets her pray and do other.
It's Tai Chi. She Tai Chi's at them.
Not that kind of monk.
Okay. Yeah, right. She stunning fists them.
No.
Or stunning strikes them. Anyways. Okay.
So with Min's, you can get 2 dice for his sword.
Cool. All right. Thank you. So that's 2. We can fork in intimidation. Is that right?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Can I fork in command since I'm over them and they're fighting their superior?
I don't think so. You've already failed command, right?
Yeah, that's true. I did. All right. Do I have time to make a force field?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Let's see. All right, this will be the total roll for like all the guards in the room.
Okay. What?
They had 15 dice and they rolled a 3.
What? Look at all of those 3s and 2s. That's insane.
If it was gray shaded, that would have been awesome.
Oh yeah, it would have slapped. Yeah. All right.
Your ob is 3, Dellon. I wonder if you're gonna fail this sword roll with your 10 sword.
I don't need this Artha point in sword for this roll, but I'm putting it there anyway.
Not fighting with like swords or whatever.
They are fighting with swords. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean?
You said it wasn't like a bloody.
No, it's not a bloody versus, as in
we're
like
just doing
you're
a
not
versus
splitting.
test.
You're not splitting defense and attack up into pools and that whole thing.
Because with
One
bloody
roll, but
versus, you have to inflict wounds.
you inflict
which
wounds
was
no matter what. By the end
problem.
of it.
That was the problem with the duel I had. I was forced to inflict a lethal wound on the guy, because we did bloody versus. So this is hopefully the only way.
This is Dellon specifically trying to wallop them with the flat edge of the blade and not kill them.
You're just whacking them with the sword.
Yeah. I just bouncing their heads off each other and smacking them with the pommel and kicking them in the groin. And
yep, pretty much.
all right, here we go.
What a surprise!
Wait, it must have been 2 fate. Because I need to.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, reroll those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dice total.
All right, with remaining ob 0. Dice 7. That was not great actually, but didn't need it. So
16 successes. Yeah, so I think what happens is Dellon like completely clobbers one guy and they all just surrender, right? They're just like, oh right, this is like the best fighter in the entire kingdom. This is dumb.
Yeah. All right, dope. And I also told Min like don't kill anybody when it started, but then it didn't turn out.
I think Min barely does anything because he's just trying to protect Aegea, right?
Right. Yeah. All right. Sick.
All right, Theo. You just push him in. I guess it's just like a power test, right?
Can the brevity of this conflict allow me to assist?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Theo, excellent.
he's like kind of like they all stop, and then he turns around, and starts running towards me.
Yeah, I'm like, all right.
He's like, you guys don't do anything, all right? Stay here. Down the.
Yep.
Okay.
Can you help with stats? How does that work? If the roll is a stat,
it's just a helping die.
Okay. Well, I'm asking because I have 5 power, so I'm wondering if I get 2 helps.
It's 2. Yep, it's the same.
Okay, sick.
Okay, so I get 2 help.
Can't wait for this guy to have like 7 gray power.
Yeah, what's that? What? I'm not using persona. What's the ob? Do I just?
I'll roll.
It'll
in a
be
second.
opposed.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna figure that out. Yeah, I mean, I do think that the demon will power him up in this moment, but unfortunately for him, he doesn't have much. This demon's specific specialty is like talking, so he will give him basically like an extra die, I guess. But that's about it. I'll just roll for him. Yeah.
Can I fork in like any of my
your ob is 1.
Can I fork in I don't know. I guess that's true.
You can't fork into stat tests if there's like an advantage die that makes sense in the situation. At the very least, Dellon is helping you with the 2 dice.
Okay.
So yeah, this would be power with those 2 dice. Yeah, I was gonna say it's very unlikely we're gonna fail that anyway. So I think you do realize pretty quickly here that this guy's like a weak old man, right? Or a weak, stressed out, sickly man.
You go to pick up a super huge demon, and he's just like, "Ow!"
Yeah, exactly. Okay. It's so easy, especially with both of you. You just like grab one each, grab one arm, and then just.
What I was thinking. Yep. Or like you grab his arms, I grab his legs. We just like swing him like a toddler into the.
You ragdolls against the invisible barrier.
I look, like, remember our fist fight? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, let's do
it. It's a very amusing image.
I want this to just be like the end of the Ark of the Covenant. His flesh just melts off his bones.
I don't think that happens. Yeah,
that's what I want.
Like we like plot was we throw him and he just goes right through it. We're like,
it'd be real awkward. We'd be like, oh hey, we tied a stone to that witch's ankle and put her in the river and she drowned. I guess she was oops.
So I think
more than a duck, she's a witch.
Exactly.
Based on the information we have about faith and with the consecration that's happened here, he just bounces off, right?
Okay.
He bounces off. He like screeches in pain, right? Like some sort of weird inhuman screech. and then just crumples to the floor. He looks like he's just like gone unconscious, or at the very least is like letting himself be limp. What do you do?
We tried to, not that I'm necessarily trying to do this. If we tried to kill him, would it be harder than that? Because we'd have to kill him, as opposed to like his mortal power or his
so the trick with this demon. Sorry, say it again.
I said you'd have to get him out. You couldn't just like kill the demon. You'd have to separate him from the body or something, which you said was like a major miracle, right?
Yeah, as we just determined with the whole thing with Cantarius' son.
Yeah, how did that go?
Basically, you can kill this dude, no problem, but then the demon will go off wherever else and be able to do more things, right?
It doesn't have to like reconsolidate itself or whatever.
From what you guys know from the demonology rolls that have been made so far, you know that basically the more things that a demon is bound to, and they can bind to multiple things or people, the more presence they have in the world, and the easier it is for them to recover from one of their bonds being broken. So if this guy is only bound to Armando, then he would have to regenerate and whatnot. But
so do Cantarius and Theo have a method of doing this that's more not obviously permanent, but more effective?
Yes, Cantarius would very easily be able to break the possession on this thing.
Oh,
all right. Just killing him is not a good idea.
So then I guess I look at, why can't I remember his name?
Medetto.
And I keep wanting to say Menthos, like the cans. I don't know. Anyways, Mendetto, and I say, you witnessed this yourself. And I guess I look at the possessed guards and I'm like, you too, I guess. Like, I don't know if you count because you're evil, but not really. I know that they're not. They're being manipulated, but I don't know if they'll be any help. So I say, this man is possessed, and we're going to take him into our custody and then perform a ritual on him. And I need you to testify what you saw here when it comes time, because it will. We didn't ask Sergio if we could do this.
I'm trying to decide if Sergio just bursts into the room right now, or if like either way he's going to oppose what's happening here, for reasons that I know. What do you guys think is more interesting? If we like end the session here and he bursts in, or if it's like you get him into your custody and then Sergio's going to be like, whoa, and then try to like stop you from doing whatever you're
doing. Well, I guess so. The outcome of Sergio busting in is either we have a culmination here and like we turn on each other, or basically Armando walks away and nothing happens, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's probably more dramatic of a confrontation than we want. At this point.
I feel like that might be a bit too ultimatum-y. Whereas at least if we can take him in, then maybe we have time to like let Cantarius do a thing, and then maybe if he fails, then we have to deal with that before it happens or something. For the stage we're at, I think that might personally be my preference. I don't know. Do you have a preference, Adam?
You're saying like we're gonna ask Sergio, or we're gonna like bypass that?
No, I was asking as the GM, like if you guys think it's more interesting for Sergio to burst in right now and try to stop you, or if you get him into your custody and then he tries to stop you from doing this. But I think David made a good point. Like it's probably too dramatic of a confrontation to have Sergio burst in, because if like enough rolls get failed or succeeded, depending, you could just kill Sergio. And
if we push it, we're basically fighting Sergio. And if we don't, this was for no reason. So yeah.
So I think what happens is you guys are able to take him into custody, but then like, maybe we end with Dellon getting like a cease and desist letter from Sergio. Like you do not have the authority to do this. And then we can like figure out the ramifications of that next time. Right.
Sounds good.
You could probably stall him long enough that you can get Cantarius in there, but we can see what that looks like. Cool. Is there anything that anyone wanted to like finish up before we actually like any last threads that need to be at least worked on or something before, so I don't skip you out of.
My other things are all about the other cult, and that would be a whole thing. So
that's a whole thing.
Did we get a chance to look around for the?
That's true. Yeah. That makes sense. Do you want to look around for the artifact? Yeah.
That's why
you were here in the first place. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
I think.
How do you go about doing that?
I could make a prayer to the because he probably wants me to find it still.
It's true.
And you said he can't read my mind necessarily, so.
Oh, well, he might have witnessed your actions there.
I was going to say, at the very
thing.
least, he knows everything that you've been doing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're trying to find it, and he kind of thwarted that. So
I mean, that's true. Yeah.
So we're still trying to find, we tried to convince him, hey, we're going to try and grab the thing, and he didn't.
Right.
So that's on him.
But yes, the answer is yes, Theo. You can pray to a demon in the middle of the Church of God. Yeah.
Just maybe back a few steps up from the Holy of Holies, where we checked this guy a second ago.
What is your exact role here? Is it the guidance, which is, you get a nudge in the right direction? You're like led kind of in the right direction you're supposed to go, or do you want the inspiration? You just get the answer to the question.
What's
the difference between
inspiration?
Difference between Ob 5 and Ob 7?
Oof. I'll go with the Ob 5.
Sounds good. Okay.
No. Oh wait, I have a +1 ob, don't I?
Technically, that would have gone to the power roll we just made.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which I don't think was going to matter.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. It would have been
yeah. So
Ob 2.
2 versus 5.
Yep.
Ob 5.
Yep. You got
How
a
do
6.
Actually,
the 6 is already a reroll. You could spend 1 fate to reroll.
Maybe get 3 6s.
And get 2 6s in a row. And
why not? I got plenty of fate. So
that's true. You have 17.
I burned through 5 fate and 3 persona, I think, in this session.
I did. I think I had. I started with 4. I used 3 and like 5 fate. So remaining ob 3.
Yep.
1 dice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the one day that you actually get it, but nope.
It'll happen someday.
Yeah.
Just have to hope you don't get struck down by an annoyed demon before that happens. Literally struck with lightning. Again.
I'm trying to think of what the answer is here, because I know what's happening here, but I'm trying to think of. Okay, so you asked Kreos where
the guidance
to go
you get
next.
is that you should leave the guy here.
right, exactly.
You should leave Armando alone.
I think the answer should just be it's not like, so Kreos is different. It's not like he's doing like what the other gods did. He's not saying like figure it out on your own every time you fail. I think he just says like you already have all the answers you need. Like, and you could just interrogate Armando, technically.
Interesting.
I think
right.
My instinct is, because I'm aware that Sergio is probably going to get wind of this and be a problem. My instinct is to just take Armando back immediately, but maybe I can like convince all the guards to come with me, and then we can just be like, "Oh no, we left Achia and Min and the thing all alone. I hope they don't steal anything important."
Yeah.
And they can just figure it out. And I mean, obviously, Theo, if you want to stay with me too, you can. So I think I'm going to like just command them all to come with me and like bring this person to a place for
probably the only person who questions it is like Medetto. Like, it's just like, he just looks back and gives you a knowing look, like, what?
I wink at him.
Okay.
I ask for forgiveness, not permission. Here we go.
maybe that's what you just say, right?
Yeah.
Remember, I ask for forgiveness, not permission, and then you just like walk out.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting because I don't know what what's his name, the demon,
Armando.
Kreos.
Armando. Yeah, I what if Armando could say something that we didn't know? So I think I'm gonna go with Achia and Min, and then like if they find out something, they're like, oh man, they don't know this, and then like I don't know,
then you might rush back to Dellon to make sure.
Yeah, I might rush. Or isn't Dellon gonna interrogate?
No, so Dellon. Dellon is taking Armando and then leaving Achia and Min in the temple here so that they can search for the artifact.
Right, and I'm gonna stay with them. But like, if we find out something that, like, I'm praying to the god and he isn't telling, or the demon or whatever he is, we don't know, and he's not telling me anything, and maybe this is like. I mean, he's either deceiving me or there's something we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Okay.
there's another element to this.
Yeah, so this is the question then. What route do you take? Like, what avenue is being taken here to find this? Is this Hio doing an astrology roll or something? Or is it literally just like a tear up everything and look around?
I think when it gets like nighttime, we'll probably tear it up. Yeah.
But is it like maybe she's making an astrology roll before that point?
Yeah, the window of time I bought you is probably pretty small here because people will probably show up.
Well, I was
I
thinking,
think
is there a way to
Hio should
hide?
make an astrology. I think Hio should make an astrology because like she's actually in the Temple of the Great God. This is where they make those astrology rolls, right? Like ask God what is the
They
next
have like
step.
an astrolabe she can use to gives her dice.
Literally, they have like not maybe an astrolabe, but like whatever thing it is that they use to like
A telescope.
cast lots or whatever.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Because it's more involved than just looking at stars. But
the great D20 sitting on the altar.
yeah. And I think this is what Hio does, right? She shoots up a quick prayer. And actually, I just realized she has 7 faith herself.
Bro, she could have helped. Well, never mind. She couldn't have helped me. I
She
didn't
wasn't
trust her
there
at the
for
time.
that one, but yeah. I think she shoots up a quick prayer, and I think I'll even make a roll for her to like give her some dice or something. And basically asks, like, prays to the great God and says, like, forgive me for like tainting
Sorry
your holy of
about this.
holies.
Sorry about
like,
bouncing an old guy off.
You know
your
what? Actually,
door.
this is what she's going to do. Hio first is going to make a faith roll to ask if this is okay of God, right? Like, specifically, can I enter the Holy of Holies and like use because that's what they're doing, right? There's like a whole like astrology centered sacrifice thing that happens in the Holy of Holies. So she's basically going to ask God if she can do this right now.
I'd help, but wait, can I pray while I'm leaving that they'll have help to find it?
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. All right. I'll give her help. Does she get 2 because I have 5 faith?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, dope. Or wait. I thought it was like a total number of will something or others.
That's for believers who don't have faith.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. All right, here we go. So she's going to do the Ob 5. Actually, wait, does she have the believer trait? Let me check. No, she doesn't.
What is a believer trait? How do you get that?
It's like from a particular life path. You actually had it to start off the game, Theo, from your like Temple Acolyte life path or whatever. But you lost it because Theo's definitely not a believer, right? Or at least he wasn't of any of the gods.
You don't like Justin Bieber anymore?
I don't think he likes the gods. I think he might someday like the god.
Yeah. We could also vote it back on to character. We voted it on Dellon at the end of season 1 because he should have had it.
Yeah.
All right, so she's going to do the Ob 5 guidance. So she doesn't need like a specific answer. She just needs to know, am I okay to move forward, right? More than anything else. There we go. That's all she needed.
Sweet.
Yep, so she just, I think, strolls into the Holy of Holies and starts doing astrology.
Do I get a test?
It's against Ob 5.
Sorry.
Yes, it's a difficult for you, right? You have 5 in faith.
Sweet. There you go. Yeah.
Nice.
There you go. That's how you do it. You get somebody with way more faith than you to make the roll.
You just help them.
Then you succeed, and you actually get the test because you succeed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now she's going to make a faith roll to give herself some extra die. Extra dice. Whoa. Okay, she gets 3 extra dice to what she's going to do next. She's also going to roll to try to open end.
Wait, why did she roll faith again?
Goodness gracious, she's getting so many 6s.
Multiple options. Yeah. She
just like spends a whole bunch of time in prayer before she's doing this. And all right, here we go.
This is the one she's going to do badly on because...
Yeah, she's going to roll astrology, and she's going to fork in doctrine. Oh, she's going to try to meditate as well. Got to do those prep rolls, you know.
I can make it harder, though, can't I? Never mind.
You did, though. All right, so she's going to roll astrology, and she has three from the faith, and then doctrine, the meditation that she just did, monastic ritual, omen-wise, relic-wise, religious rumor-wise, shrine-wise, and symbology. So 11.
And then I helped her too, right?
Well, no, you gave her help to the faith, I thought, which is what I added it to.
Sorry, right, yeah.
Yeah. And she needed every die on that one, so.
Yeah. Because this is the astrology, right? Okay.
This is the
Sorry. I thought she was still
exactly.
determining whether she. Okay.
She's spent all of her persona at this point, so she has none of those left.
Oh.
But all right. So, what is the question she's asking? Is it just like where is the artifact?
Yeah, I suppose.
Or is there anything more to it than that?
How do I get the artifact? Maybe that's a better question.
Yeah. Like, give me all the answers I need to get to the artifact.
Like, oh,
okay,
right.
yeah, yep. Give me all the answers I need to get to the artifact.
They want her to get it, so that do they agree with our plan of taking it to sort of?
So this is gonna reveal a lot if she succeeds. It's gonna be an ob 10. She has a lot of dice to work with, so we'll see. All right. She has fate.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, but she open-ended it already, so it's a coin flip, right?
Yep. She only
no.
on the 1. Oh no! She rolled a 1. Oh no.
Oh man. Wait, can Min help?
We can check. Technically, Theo can help.
Well, the
thing that would matter is if there's some sort of ritual thing. We need to remember to do this before we make the roll, but
yeah,
we keep forgetting this, so that's fine.
This is an astrology roll, though, Adam. So this isn't.
If there's something related to that you could help, you can help with doctrine, Theo.
Oh yeah.
That's a listed fork.
Temple wise, I don't know. I still have it apparently.
Or that, yeah, exactly. One of those. And then I don't think Min has anything actually.
Well, you just roll.
No, he is not. Yeah. So she gets one more chance.
Oh, great. Right? Another coin flip.
Another coin flip. That's it. She did it. She did it.
Thank goodness.
I was worried there for a second.
Yeah.
That was going to be bad.
She goes a little harder.
Okay. So the answer she gets back is the artifact is not here. It never was. She got wrong information again, right? And this is God himself revealing to her, basically, right? Like some more of the secrets of this, right? So,
yeah.
There is an artifact in the temple here, but it's some sort of holy relic or whatever that's been tainted and corrupted to be a demon bond for that demon that was possessing Armando. So there is something here that maybe you could have, if she had failed the roll, that maybe you would have thought that was the artifact or something, right?
Yeah.
But she finds this at first, I think, right? It's like I don't know, what do you think? What holy? I guess it would maybe be a circle, right? A half, incomplete circle ring, like Sergio would hold up.
Maybe there's like a half circle, but then there's like this weird dark energy completing the circle because they think they're great.
I think the demon symbol has typically been a half circle where like even more of the circle is missing.
So maybe it's like crumpled. Like there was 3/4 of a circle, but like a quarter of it's crumpled away.
It's like a crumpled metal ring that is, yeah. And she finds it, and at first, maybe Theo, you're like, oh, is this it? And she turns to you and says, demon tainted, and like puts it down and like wipes her hands of it, like and then she like reads the lots or whatever she would, like the things she was looking at again to read fate, and she says, it's here in the city somewhere. No, there are 2 in the city. Let me look at my notes real quick.
The way you did that, I immediately was like, throw it into the fire. Why should I?
Yeah. And she says, Faustus already has it.
Oh boy. Well, it's so good to him, right?
Well, it's good to him if he captures one of them, one of you, and forces you to unlock it, right?
I guess that's
what was it, Dellon and Cantarius or something?
No, Cantarius and Antonius are the ones who haven't unlocked theirs yet.
They're like going to find Faustus.
I know, exactly.
They're literally like living around him right now, aren't they? Great.
So she's like, yeah, he stole it from the temple. It was in the temple, but like whatever deal that he had with this or with Armando's demon, like they worked together to like swap out the artifacts and like put this demon artifact in his place. And if you would have fallen for it, it would have been this long rabbit trail of thinking this demon artifact was actually a thing, right? But then she says there's also another one in the city. the Temple of Narani has the orb in it, the one that she stole, that she got from Alphonse.
Oh, okay.
So she just knows, like she gets all this revealed to her. It's like almost as like a sense. She's like sensing the artifacts, and she says, the third, the actual second artifact that needs to be unlocked is somewhere else. I can't see it. It's far from here, though.
Bulma pulls out her Dragon Ball finding radar.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Sick. All right.
Yeah. So that's what she reveals. And I don't know what Theo does with that exactly in the moment.
I think he just says like he thinks about how Antonius and Cantarius are going to, and he's like, oh.
What I want to start with next time is I want to see, because Cantarius and Antonius don't know this.
Yeah.
And they were thinking of having an Antonius do some guild work, right? Getting back in touch with his guild contacts and doing something. I think it would be really interesting if we make those rolls at the beginning of next session, see how Antonius has been doing, and maybe he even gets kidnapped or something, right? For this whole thing. Yeah.
That'd be cool, yeah.
All right, cool. I think that
would certainly escalate things very quickly. Put some time pressure on stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah. Very
cool. All right, let's do Artha.
Too bad Connor and Jared weren't here for the part where we learned that everything's a lie. And
I know. We'll have to have them watch this episode for sure.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All right, Dellon. Yeah, Artha.
Oops. Did not interrogate my father. Did not determine why they think Alphonse's son is a dude. I will determine if Theo's being deceived by Ichi again. I did that.
Yep. Persona
did the thing. Yeah.
He was being deceived by Achia, but Achia didn't know it, and now Achia's a good guy.
Sure. I will find proof that the Bishop Armando is possessed. I did that. I bounced him off of a wall.
Exactly.
Sick. I should have made one of them. I'll prove that he's evil, and the other that I arrest him, because that would have gotten both.
Yep.
Oh well. Let's see. Can I get fate for do whatever it takes to win when something more important than myself is at stake, because this is probably going to be an issue.
This is going to backfire with Sergio. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Sick. This whole like asking for permission, not or whatever.
Forgiveness, not permission.
Yeah. Thank you. Maybe that should be an instinct. That would be a great fate generating instinct.
Yeah. All right. I'm looking at. Let's see. Traits. Anything come up with Dellon?
Oh, good question. Nope, not on that.
I don't think so. Any humor, right skill, right time, embodiment?
I think we should both get humor for swinging him against the wall like a toddler, because that was hilarious.
Yeah, I at least want to give Dellon, if he didn't get fate for that, for humor, just for the whole ask for forgiveness instead of permission. That whole like thing was just amusing for Dellon.
Thank you.
So you can get a fate for that. Actually, you know what? Okay, give you both fate for the ragdolling him against the boundary. But you can get embodiment, Dellon, for that.
Thank you.
Ask for forgiveness. I think it was good to see Dellon's. It was cool to see that actually work out with Dellon in work out in the fiction, like what that looks like.
Yeah.
For how Dellon is running his Holy Knight stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And sort of see how he interacts. Because I mean, he's always done that, but he's never like put words to it before.
Yeah. Or been in charge of so many people and done it anyway.
Right. Yeah. Been equally just impertinent. What is embodiment? Kind of.
Embodiment is like good and distinctive role playing.
Sorry, I meant what kind of art?
Persona.
Okay.
Persona.
Oh, great. Thank you.
So Theo, I think you got Persona for your first one because you advanced your will, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. You did a concrete thing on that.
Sweet.
You definitely found a lead on a powerful artifact, so Persona, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, that should have been my other one. Gosh darn it.
Well, I think you were more concerned about getting
Armando taken care of.
Yeah, but I had these two beliefs that we didn't even look at, and one of them could have been get the artifact. I don't know why I didn't do that.
Yeah,
I guess I just didn't think we were going to get that far. I don't know.
Yeah. Fair enough. And then you did more or less find out you failed the roll to do it yourself, but got someone else to do it for you. So I'll give you a fate to find out that Ichi is worthy of your trust. So it happened. It's done now, but you didn't actually get persona worthy of it. I'm going to give you a fate for never giving up a chance at power for not immediately telling them about the demon that you pray to.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm going to give you a fate for never heed danger. It didn't get you into trouble, but it was interesting to see that Theo was just going to literally charge the demon guy and not knowing whether or not he was going to be able to rip your limbs off.
I was like, "What's this?"
I always knew. Yeah, exactly. I always knew that Armando did not have a powerful demon and was not going to be able to put up much of resistance except for speaking.
I appreciate that it wasn't like he has 9 gray strength.
No.
He takes off the robe and says,
"That's Faustus,"
choice. And then he earthbends you in the face.
Yeah, that's Faustus.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
Right.
Yeah, Faustus is going to be like, he's the boss battle.
I gave him so many powerful traits, guys. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so 2 persona, 3 fate so far. Another humor for the ragdolling him against the barrier. Any other arguments?
Let's see. How significant does Beyond the Call have to be?
Yeah, so that's like deeds points for that. Right? That's I think the actual like expanded wording in the book.
Who got a deeds point?
No, nobody. That's one.
Theo's wondering because there's 2 different things here for deeds that it lists, right? Accomplishing goals bigger than you and helping no matter the cost. So I think that one has to do with like helping another character's beliefs and stuff.
I get the impression that one is kind of like, did you win the adventure? Did you do the thing? Here's a deeds, like, and not like selfishly take over a country, but like be a hero and do the thing. That's sort of the impression I get.
So the 2 things that it says here are, you must do something. So for the greater goals, right? You must do something that benefits more than just the character and do it for reasons other than personal gain.
Right.
And then also helping another character accomplish goals that are anathema to your goals, instincts, and beliefs can earn deeds points. That's what that last one means. So it's either going against your own stuff so dramatically that you're to help another character do their stuff.
I could get a deeds point sooner or later if I help get the actual artifacts.
Yeah, I mean, if you turn against your patron and help us kill him, I feel like that's a deeds point, right?
Especially or if you turn against them and help your patron, either one is a deeds point, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I was like, I have an opportunity here to either get a deeds point either way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you help the party, then you're getting beyond the call. If you help the demon, you're getting greater goals, right?
Yeah.
The goal is evil, but it's better. It's above yourself, and you're not doing it for personal gain necessarily.
Wait, but wouldn't I also get a deeds point if I for belief number? Don't you get a deeds point if you like do the opposite of your belief?
So if there's a minor version of that, then that's a persona, right? It's like having things that conflict. If the ultimate version of that is deeds, which is the helping no matter the cost, where you're going against all of your stuff to help another character. It's not just going against all your stuff to help yourself for some reason. It would be like your stuff is conflicting, but you help anyway. Or yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else Arthur-wise for Theo except for what we already established. So,
isn't a deeds point used in dice just an extra point?
So deeds can be spent before the roll to double the amount of dice you're rolling.
Oh.
Well, it's not double the amount of dice; it's double the exponent. So if you had if Dellon does it, he has a 10 sword. He's now rolling 20 dice for sword plus whatever forks.
But if you had like 19 and 9 of them were bonuses, you'd still only double the 10.
Right. Your base.
Yeah.
We didn't know that when Dellon made his like 500 dice roll with white shades.
I was like, I have help from 200 people. I doubled it. Yeah.
So that doesn't actually work. Looking at the rules, but then you can also spend a deeds point after the fact, and this is something that you did. Thea, this is when you spent your deeds point to reroll to make all your failed dice automatically successes.
Oh yeah, that's also what
you did.
Jared did when he was fighting me.
Oh yeah, when Jared did, yeah. But yeah, you spent that to automatically succeed against the demon trying to capture your brain in the 3rd season. That's why you spent your deeds point on Will. which is a fair thing to spend it on, even though it was will, because it was like either I get possessed by a demon or I don't. So anyway, yeah.
Nice.
There you go. That's been our session. That was really fun. I was certainly not expecting to reveal all of that information. This season has been a lot of that. Of been like,
we have a lot of information gathering powers now. So,
but even so, I mean, the other guys don't know it, and we still have to deal with Sergio. We have to deal with.
There's plenty.
Faustus.
And we have to do, and we have to get I feel like there's still some information missing that we probably could get out of Armando that that's probably gonna be like, oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yep.
And we have to also find that last artifact where we don't know. So it's like we gotta find all the ones, then we gotta figure out what to do with them, and also find that lost one, deal with Armando, deal with Faustus.
My vision for the rest of the game is we have this arc defeating the Harbingers, and then the last arc, there's one more arc after this, and then the last arc is figuring out what to do with all the Order stuff, right? What are we doing with the artifacts? How do we save the world actually? Right? So we'll see how that goes.
I mean, I feel the answer to that is really easy. We just take whichever person has not activated an artifact, we kill them, and then it's over. Can't do it anymore.
Well, technically, wait.
It would help to figure out, like, make some sort of roll to figure out why you guys activate them in the first place.
I'm under.
Then you would know.
I'm under the assumption that this is like an avatar reincarnation kind of thing. Not that we're reincarnated from people, but that like there's always somebody who could unlock them alive, or like born. Because it would be really like if I was making a prison and I was like, all right, you have to designate 5 people throughout history. I'd be like, cool, this person. 10,000 years later, this guy. 10,000 years later, that guy. And then it'd be impossible.
I know the answer to this. You'll have to make the roll to like figure it out. Yeah.
That's why I'm under the impression it's probably more like you have to have keys always, so that otherwise, like it would just be, that's my guess.
Yeah, so you probably you wouldn't want to just die. You'd still want to lose them.
Right. My guess is if we just
throw
killed
it in
somebody,
the ocean,
then it would probably just be somebody else at some point that could unlock it. But it would be a special person, but it would probably be, I'm guessing that's not the answer. It may help in the immediate, but
we'll find out.
Yeah, we should have to bury them.
Throw them back. We'll have to figure out how to go about doing all that stuff. So
someone else's artifact and then just run away. We never see each other again. That's the end.
Yeah, that's true. Each of you take a different artifact and then just go to different corners of the planet.
It's true.
There you go.
It's not knowing you. We can't ever meet each other again.
Yeah, exactly. We can't be friends because if we did, the world would end.
Unless you get like the two, let's say 2 people go, so they like defend each other, and then they each have the other 2s. So
that's fun.
But you're also protecting the other person and their artifact, so it's like
So if we did split up, we want to take other people's artifacts. But honestly, most of them have been awakened, so it doesn't really matter who has it anymore. But
yeah.
So this person is technically considering or would be protecting 2 artifacts. Okay, never mind. I was kidding.
No. I like that Adam is the one chasing this thread because he's the one who's most excited to figure out all these details and he's very interested in this.
That was the other reason why I didn't want to just be like, oh yeah, well, screw the order, because I was like, I feel like this is Adam's biggest thread right now, and I don't want to just be like, oh hey Adam, Dellon kills the person, like that would have been dumb.
Dellon kills H.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, I was like, I can't do that because that would be stupid, and then we'd only have church stuff left, which is like Dellon's main angle. Not that Theo isn't important there, but just like that's his angle. So it's like I can't just
as a note for like threads that haven't been like the whole occult thing, the Luca thing that didn't get done anything with. The longer those sorts of threads go investigated, the more damage that will be done. Just want to throw that out there. Things are happening behind the scenes. Other characters' beliefs are being completed. Yeah,
the Harbingers is the cult.
There's the Harbingers, and then there's the new like Messiah cult that's
there's 2 cults
starting from Alphonse's son. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for now. We'll be back next time. Some more Crow Inquisitors. Thanks for playing, guys.
Yep. Thanks for playing.